Yes, come on. Yes, people, welcome back to the Top 4 podcast. My name is Pete. I'm an Arsenal fan. I am joined by Robinho, a Manchester United fan.
Yes, and amen. Yes, and amen. That is all we have to say. We will get into it. We are here. More than you believe.
Oh, more than you believe. We'll get right into it. I'm joined by Generous Dave, an Arsenal fan.
Sacked in the morning. He got sacked in the morning. Sacked in the morning.
God.
Yes. My agenda has to run today. Last week it ran, but we lost in it and they won. But today, bruv, I'm the last man to see this man live in a stadium. And it's good. The irony, he come to East London, his last game. After the nonsense you lot pulled off last week, get rid of Sir Alex Ferguson. Nonsense, bro. His last game was in E20, blood. Yes, I love it. Inject that blood. Yes.
Yeah, boy. And I'm joined by AD, a Liverpool fan.
Mo Salah, running down the wing. Salah, our Egyptian king. But you know what? Speaking of Egyptian kings, I think it's time to talk about a Dutch fraud. A bold Dutch fraud. Take it away, lads. Take it away.
Oh, before we dive right in there, AD, we have to talk about the people that are commenting in the comment section. But before we even do that as well, people, I need to know, man. I'm sure I know. But what is your highlight or surprise of the week? There's so much to talk about, man.
Brother.
Those that weren't in the group chat, I was in the gym. Clanging and banging, as The Rock says.
Clanging and banging.
On the treadmill, I finish my workout. I get a ping from Manchester United. And I just see club statement. I said, no way. Dropped to my knees.
And
then I said I had to be professional.
Yo!
But,
Hey, pause.
Aggressive pause. Aggressive
pause. But when Oscar said in the group chat, you need to do more reps, the energy came back. I got back on the treadmill and I had to do more reps. Guys, this made my Monday because I was this close to leaving the game. I was that close.
Yeah, was it one step too far? Was it nearly one step too far?
It was nearly one step too far. But
listen, I can understand it. I can understand that being your highlight of the week. Anybody else got anything else they want to share or add on to it?
Oh, Verstappen getting that 20-second penalty. Oh my gosh.
In the veins.
I need skin.
Are you crazy?
Bro.
Are you crazy? Max Verstappen double. Yeah.
And then Hamilton doing over Russell, bro. That fraudulent guy, bro.
Yeah, love that.
Love it.
Love that. Love seeing Hamilton back on the roads, man, doing his thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Love seeing him back on the roads. AD, what was your highlight of the weekend or the week?
Listen, mate, pros and comparison. Next week, I'll give you 2. I'll even give you 3. But tonight, got to talk about it. We got to talk about the breaking news.
The breaking news.
That's the highlight of my week. Erik Ten Hag is gone.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I'm just trying to pick up something else that happened. Jose Mourinho's post-match press conference, post-match interviews after the Fenerbahce Manchester United game on Thursday. Guys, if you haven't watched, if you did not have a Butchers, you guys are missing out on some good stuff. Good. When he gets to speak English, good content. Good frigging content.
But anyways, I'm thinking, Pete.
Yes.
Speaking of F1, I think we're going to beat you to the constructors.
Turn it in.
If I'm very honest.
Mirad in the chat. I'm seeing what's Mirad saying. You guys,
I think we're going to beat you.
What do you guys smoke every season? Yeah, Ferrari, you're going to win the construction. Get the hell out of here. You chill, man. Don't worry.
I said we're going to beat you. Listen, we're going to beat you.
And the wrong driver won anyway. You don't want Carlos Sainz doing it. Guy's got 2 race wins this year and you lot are dumping him, mate. Don't worry, man. Ferrari will be Ferrari.
Hamilton, bro, isn't it? You get me?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, for very good reason. Then let's not lie.
listen, it's a great reason. Don't get me wrong, but hey, it is what it is. Let's get into the comment section very, very quickly whilst we get into the proceedings, because as you guys have said, like I'm sorry for making you guys wait on this, but we have to let our people know.
We're ready to go to court. Why do you think I'm wearing black?
Oh, ready to go to court. Murad says, good evening to the greatest football podcast to air on a Monday night. When the question needs to be asked, is it refereeing or is it refer cheating?
By the way,
we will
by
get
the way,
into it. We will get into it.
boo-hoo, cry me a friggin' river. Why can't Arsenal ever just drop points? Why does it have to be some elaborate conspiracy theory? Why do I need to see league tables of fouls per minute, fouls per yellow card? Yeah, we'll get into it.
We will get into it, AD. We'll get into it, and I hope I can try and convince you otherwise. Okay, but you know, I'm guessing he's talking about even across the board. Let's have it right. You know, we saw what happened at the stadium. We'll get to that.
West Ham Stadium.
You know what happened at Stamford Bridge, by the way. I know Chelsea won, but did you see what happened at Stamford Bridge? I mean, you know, we'll get into it though. We'll get into it. Baraka, big up yourselves. Every time United sacks their manager, it's around the time they played Chelsea. I hate it. I wanted us to put the nail in the coffin. Big up, man. Quote of the day: what is your favorite Klopp gift? Says Nat. Is there
I
any?
don't give a monkeys about Jurgen Klopp.
Is there
That's
any?
a very niche question.
It's a niche
Also,
question.
I can't lie to you. The Arne Slot one from last week beats all of them. By the way,
What's the Arne Slot from last week?
The head one. The one where Nunez is doing the head thing, and then it just jumps to Arne Slot doing it as well.
Oh, okay.
Have you not seen that one, Peter?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's brilliant. So obviously Nunez has like a deal with Renato Vega, barges him to the floor. He can't believe that the referee played for a free kick, right? So he's absolutely crestfallen. He's practically on his knees, hands on his head, and then the camera pans to Arne Slot. He's in the exact same position. You see the assistant referee going bananas and berserk behind him. Peter, yeah, man, no, honestly, yeah, it's right up your alley, mate.
I love her butchers indeed. Tahar says, big up top four. Cole Palmer robbed, man. Said 20. Cole Palmer was robbed. Right. Let's get some commas and full stops in these comments, okay? Man said 25th in the Ballon d'Or. How's that Foden guy ahead of him? Rude at the wheel. I mean, Foden got player of the year, don't forget. He was Premier League player of the year. And yes, Ruud van Nistelrooy, as he's alluding to there. Interim boss at Manchester United. Nat says, is Oscar on bang up? Free the guys, man. Oscar's living in La Vida Loca in the east of Africa, mate. He's having a great time.
In the club.
He's in the club. I mean, the guy literally was holding. I don't know if you saw his story today. Guy's holding a live chicken at a Quangela. I was thinking, this guy, he's fully in there, mate. Just sending it. SW6, what's going on? I hope you're good, brother. AD is always live on the tee. Trust me. Everybody knows, man. Big up top four. You're done. No, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. Baraka says, look, safe to say Ten Hag wasn't what he was hyped up to be. Safe to say? Oh, my God. Baraka, we will get into that. Look who it is. Huh? Oluwa. Do you know what I'm saying? Where's Sheon been, man? Good evening, guys. Yes, good to see you, man. We need to get you back on this podcast, man. Stop running away from us. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're more or less good. People are a couple of you lot saying a couple of questions in here. I'll do it very, very quickly. Question of the day. Whose decade of football was worse? United's 10 years after their last Premier League or Arsenal's 10 after their last Premier League?
That's a brilliant question.
I would say,
I think it's us. We've had a big crash. We've had a massive
First of all, look at the money spent. First of all, just start there. Look at the money spent. The transfers. Yep. Oh my God. Yep. Now we've had our share of howlers. We've had our Liechtensteiners and Squillaci. Who else? Who's the Japanese brother? We've had some stinkers.
Which one?
I thought at least two.
Yeah, well, one was South Korean, as in Park Ji-young, and then is it Asano? Asano was the
Takano Asano. And then remember even Ryo Miyachi.
Ryo Miyachi. Oh God,
I say he came through the academy that one.
He was young, but again,
you can throw in our Podolskis there, and who else?
You know, like when they used to show graphics of Wenger's 11 that made the Champions League like effortlessly. You know, like in 08, 07,
Yeah, yeah,
09, 10.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this
I'm
team was
sorry,
just
yeah.
comfortably in there.
United, you lot have had this thing. At least
You-
at least Wenger took us Champions League until his last season. That was it.
You know
And
what's crazy?
also, yeah, go on.
Now go through, AD, go through.
I was just going to say, and also for a long period, Arsenal were actually playing brilliant football.
That was the thing. We were just soft.
Yeah, it was soft. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was. But do you know it's so crazy? Like, because Wenger just went completely away from his DNA, man. Wenger, like when he came into Arsenal, obviously he had the big brutes, you know, the Brexit backline, and then obviously the Invincibles, and then he just started playing these children, these lightweight children, and then it just went left from there.
Do you know what though? I think
He
it's funny you say
blamed the
that.
stadium.
If you say that, it's funny you say that. I think genuinely Wenger's identity and his idea and dream was that 08, 09, 10, like that he could literally go get players that no one's heard of again and play. And you know, like you say, we played football with no fear whatsoever. Like it didn't matter who we were up against. The football we played was outrageous. And the thing is, it was just a case of like what we were always mugged off for was we were small, short players. Now, what I'd give you is that you know, Wenger going against his principles in the past because we used to have massive blokes. When you look at our team now, this is what Wenger had, where he had everyone was 6 foot minimum. You know what I'm saying? Vieira 6 foot, Gilberto 6 foot. The centre halves, he didn't take your pick. And if they were
like the smallest of the lot. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then we went to these Nasris and Fabregases and Hlebs, where it was like, and Eduardo's, Carlos Vela, Shamak. These are all people that were like under 5'10". Do you know what I mean? So he completely veered away and went the other way. But you know, as Robinho just said, the reason why United is far worse. Right, far worse. Because it's not like, oh yeah, we finished second the year after they challenged, they won the league. Because Arsenal finished second, right? At least, you know, because Chelsea winning the league in our first year that we lost it was still a great Arsenal team. If you don't remember, like 05 Arsenal was cold, like it was cold, but Chelsea was simply that damn good. And United finished seventh? Their first defense. Do you know what I'm saying? They finished 7th. And then, you know, I don't know how many times you've made top 4 in the last 10 years, but as David alluded to,
I would say we made it
religiously every single time until he
5.
left.
I think it was twice. Is it twice?
What, that we finished second?
No, he finished in the top 4 since Fergie.
Well,
because Van Gaal make one?
Van Gaal made one. It's
So Van
because
Gaal
we
did it?
played. Because remember, we played Champions League because that's when Memphis Depay came because we had to go to the playoffs at that time, and then we got in. So yeah, Van Gaal did one. Mourinho did it twice because he did the Europa League first. Because remember, he did Europa League, then we finished second behind Man City that were 17 points ahead. Like that, I think was that. Something like crazy like that.
Yeah, 18 points.
And then Mourinho
90,
complained
I think,
and then Mourinho complained, it's like, listen, I need to spend some money, and then the Glazers went on it in order to catch City. And then
gave him threads.
And then Ollie made it twice because we finished third, second. And then
third, second.
Yeah.
Where was he when he got sacked? Where were you like when you got sacked?
I think they lost 4-0
no,
to
we were down. We were down.
Yeah, that was bad. It was bad by that point.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. It's quite alarming, your drop off. Do you know what I mean? It's
granted you man have won Europa League, FA Cup here.
Yeah,
overall,
that's
why I said it's been about
debate,
5 out of 10 times, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's what makes it a debate. Because don't forget, Arsenal's last title, when you say decade, remember it's up till 2014. So 2014 to 2004, what were Arsenal doing then? Do you know what I'm saying? We were still, I think, better than this United side purely because we were making the top 4 comfortably and finished second, I think, one of those years. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, I think United should be ashamed of themselves. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments in reference to that question, because it was a good one, man. Big up yourself, Murad. Big up yourself. Let's see. As Tahar says, Arsenal were still consistent top 4 with that Wenger ball. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal had some title challenges in there. United haven't even sniffed one in the last decade. And don't forget, we're building a stadium, man. We're paying off a freaking stadium. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like United didn't have to pay for no damn stadium, and they were spending money out their ears. So, there was no reason to not be in there. Do you know what I'm saying? So, Arsenal found themselves in a title fight in 08-09 and a Champions League semi. Yeah, exactly. That's true. But yeah, shout out to everyone. Oh, some of the names you are pulling out. Craig Eastman, you get me. You don't know about Craig Eastman, Carlos Vela.
Hey, Peter, you see Craig Eastman, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought he was a player because we played you, man, in the League Cup.
Yeah.
Let's call it 2010, yeah? He was destructive. He was aggressive. He could play, you know?
By the way, we need to stick in another subtopic in the United chat because the new manager has pretty much been agreed in principle now. So
is that right?
Yeah, that's what they're saying now.
Okay, let's get into the topic of Manchester
We'll
United,
get into it.
We might as well get into it now.
I'm going to start this off.
Okay.
Erik Ten Hag was fired this morning from Manchester United.
He has indeed. What are your
after
teams?
2.5 years? First season, I can allow it because we actually didn't do too bad. But we never got off from there. Since then, we went through an injury crisis, but at the same time, we finished 8th. Our lowest ever season finish. We picked up 2 championships along the way. 1 League Cup, 1 FA Cup.
That's a championship. Look at this guy.
That's about it. Okay, cups. If you want to keep it that way, it's still a championship. But anyways, but overall, we also spent 601 million with this guy. 89% of his signings have been his. The ones that weren't are the recent ones of like Ugarte and one other person. But the rest of it has been signed. We have lamented all over the signings that we've gone through, from Mason Mount to Wout Weghorst. We have seen it all. The football, I am questioning every week because I don't know what he is doing. There's a new 11, there's a new tactic, and there's questions of why he's not using certain players. Ahmad is naturally a number 10. He decided to play a right back in a 10 position because his regular number 10 wasn't in the game. He keeps saying that regardless of the result, that we play well. I don't know what well is to him, but he was saying that we're playing well. He keeps alluding to the fact that we've won 2 trophies, but it doesn't dignify the fact that we have only won 2 of our last 9 games. We've not won in Europe for a year. We are 14th in the Premier League.
That's woeful.
Regardless of what happened on this game, because I was actually surprised that he was let go from this game, because I thought the foolishness of VAR actually saved him.
Yeah, it was quite harsh, isn't it?
But
I thought it was quite harsh.
The comments, the word coming up from Manchester United that enough was enough. This should have been done in the summer. I don't know why they're doing it now. But it's late. It's better late than never, because the season is still salvageable.
In what sense?
Thank you for the
2
trophies. Thank you for the 2 trophies, Erik. But you are not that guy. I'm glad that you got a hug before you got the private jet back to the Netherlands, but please do not return to the Premier League. Thank you. When I mean it's more salvageable, we still got 5 games in Europa League that you can still go and actually win. This team is a shower of crap, but it's better than 14th. It is way better than 14th.
I don't think so. I don't think so, mate.
You can't be playing players in positions that they're not playing for. You're telling me you are playing a right back in number 10. You're playing your other right back in the left back position. You can't decide whether to use your best right back as a right winger, as a left winger on the bench. You keep moving Rashford from left to the middle to the right. I don't know what your football plan is. The fact that you are the worst manager in the Premier League this season
Oh, there's
out
people
of
worse
all
than
20
him.
teams.
There's people worse than him. What are you talking
There's
about?
people worse
I
than
don't know,
him.
you know. I don't know. Let's try it up, coach for coach. I don't know.
Hey,
Sorry, guys.
I look
talk
at
about
playing some ball. He's trying.
hey,
You know what I
hey,
mean?
how many points have Wolves got, mate?
Bro, forget all
But
that, man.
I can at
I'd
least
rather
see
Gary
what Wolves
I'd
are
rather
doing.
Gary than Ten Hag, man.
I can easily
Listen, guys.
see Wolves are doing.
Ten Hag is not the worst manager in the league. Let's
Let's
calm
I
down.
don't know.
Let's
He's
calm
worse
down.
than him. He's worse than him.
Who's worse than him? I'll give you Russell Martin for a start. I'll give you Steve Cooper. If you dare say Steve Cooper is better than Ten Hag,
Yes,
having a
Steve Cooper.
bubble bath.
Yes,
With a
Steve
bubble,
Cooper.
yeah?
Okay.
I'd say he's better than Ange Postecoglou. Friggin',
You've lost me there, bro. After the way that they got blamed by Spurs, you've lost me there, mate. Because at least with Spurs, say what you want about Spurs. Say what you want about Spurs. We know how they're gonna play. We know the swords that they're gonna live by, and we know the sword that they're ultimately gonna fall on.
Hang on. Do we know how Spurs are gonna play? Because I want to break this myth.
What's the myth?
How do Spurs play? How do they play?
So it's very much sort of a high line, high intensity, high pressing, and
two of the three you've just said do not exist. Two of the three do not exist. Spurs do not press. They do not press anybody.
Right.
Are you sure, AD? They might have done the first 10 games of last season when everybody was paying attention to them, but they do not press. Okay. They are not high intensity. They've got the high line. I'll give you that much. They got the high line for damn sure. But intensity, I think that's part of their problem at the minute. Is the fact that there's no intensity about them. What they did to Man United, okay, cool. I see what you're saying in terms of like when they go pound for pound, Ten Hag hasn't got the better of him. However, I'm looking at Spurs play teams like Man United, and it's a free hit. You know what I mean? It's a free yard for them. But then when they go and play someone like half structured, when they play someone half structured,
Crystal Palace, brother.
I mean, Crystal Palace pumped them, by the way. They absolutely battered Crystal Palace. Sorry, Crystal Palace absolutely battered Tottenham. And that's an Oliver Glasner side, right? Who people have been questioning. And I think, it's
ultimately,
probably safe to say that,
my point is
he's not the worst manager in the league, Robinho. He's not.
He's one of the worst.
It's debatable. He's maybe not the absolute worst, but
it's debatable. Are you having Lopetegui over him?
He's bottom five.
Are you having Lopetegui over him?
Are you
having Sean Dyche over him? No, you're not.
No.
Stop lying. Man, them. Stop
but the
lying.
Thing is, I don't have Sean Dyche, not because of not technical ability, but for other reasons. But anyways.
There's some dross managers in this league. Let's have it right. I don't think O'Neill's one of them, but yeah.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall for a long time now. And I'm just annoyed that we've had to go through this because I actually wanted him to do well. It's not like I sat here. You can go back to the start of this pod. I wanted this guy. I did. And I wanted this guy to do well, but he simply... It does... I don't know if it's a language thing or all that stuff, but it's just, bro, you're not making sense. Your post-match analysis doesn't make sense. What you're saying in the dressing room or in the media doesn't make sense. I'm like, you are saying one thing that's not correlating on the pitch. You're picking players that don't deserve to start. You're making substitutions that just kill the game or don't make sense. And everyone can see it. Why can't you? And it might be a stubbornness because he is very stubborn, but stubbornness can kill you in football. Like, you don't have to be wrong to stand by your principles when your principles are wrong in the first place. These are the frustrations that I've been having with him. So at the end of the day, I'm just like, the high was during lunchtime. If we did this pod at lunchtime, you would have seen me like all bouncing. But I'm just now just more like, right, cool. What is done is done. You can still do something in Europa. Premier League is a try your best and see. We give it to Ruva Nistelrooy. The new manager is
Which,
most
by the
likely
way,
looking.
that's got to be the worst, best kept secret in the world.
Oh, it was the worst person.
The fact we all said it in the summer when he came in, you don't recruit a manager to be an assistant manager of a football club, even if it was Ten Hag's decision, right? Because I'm hearing that Ten Hag was the one that wanted him, this, that, and the other. Like, surely, Ten Hag literally signed his sacking papers when he recruited Van Nistelrooy. Because you don't bring a manager in, because then Man United, it's an easy job for Man United. Okay, cool. We'll let Ten Hag go. Now Van Nistelrooy is in situ, and that will buy us time to go ahead and really headhunt and look for the guy that we want. Now, whether they had, because the argument is being made that, why now? I wonder if Man United started knocking on people's doors and said, would you be willing? And as soon as somebody of their candidates said, yeah, all right, I'll entertain it. Let's see what you guys got for me. That's when they pulled the trigger. I don't think the West Ham defeat was the case. I don't think Fenerbahce was the case. And I don't think, obviously, we beat Brentford last week. So I genuinely don't think it's the case. Nothing has changed. There's nothing. We had this conversation last week about the referee going to the monitor. There's nothing new Man United learned in the last week that they didn't know already.
No, Peter, in the last 9 weeks, 9 game weeks.
I mean, they gave him a new contract in June. That's all I got to say about that. They gave him a new contract in June.
We extended the same contract.
I'm sorry. What's the difference between the two?
Basically,
he signs a new deal, doesn't he?
Contract. No.
What do you mean? What do you mean? No. So
what happened? What happened? This is
2025, and you give it to me to 2026. I have to sign the new paper.
No. So what? No. So we triggered the extension. So it was 3 years plus 1 year in extension. That's what's happened. So what happened, as in summer, as you all know, Manchester United were looking for managers, and they pretty much came to the point where the manager wasn't available now. So to keep that continuity, or to keep that look of blah blah blah, they extended the contract. So the contract was not new. He didn't sign anything.
But this is June. The 1 year extension. This is June. It's not like you lot did it in September when the season started. June. It was June, mate.
I swear it was later. It feels like it was later.
Check your Man United news. It was a long summer. It was a long summer.
Yeah.
Put it that way. It was literally weeks after the FA Cup final win, and prior to the Euros. Literally, you had him already signed, or whatever, extended, whatever the trigger is. Because what was the trigger based on? If someone's been triggered, he hit a clause. He met an expectation. Hence why they're probably giving him the trigger. But at the end of the day, I genuinely think they've been tapping people. And somebody has finally said,
I feel like that's why they say I'm going to say it now. The Sporting Lisbon manager is the one that everyone's saying right now. Almiron, yeah.
What do you think? Wait, let's stay on the Ten Hag thing before we move on to him. I want to get the other guys' opinions on this. Ten Hag, I mean, guys, this guy was a bum from day one, and I called it out straight away after the 6-3 defeat to Manchester City. I then called it out with the Liverpool 7-0 defeat and that Brentford defeat, and I said, "There's no way this is acceptable for this guy to be the Manchester United manager." I don't care if Man United are, they're 14th in the league, or they're this, that, and the other. They're not Man City anymore. They're not Liverpool. I don't care, bruv. If you're Manchester United, the biggest football club in this country, it cannot be dilly-dallying with nonsense. And as soon as they get the nonsense, sniff it, you get shot. You get rid quickly. They've got rid of bigger managers for less. Right? So the fact that we're sitting here, talking about, because this guy won the FA Cup and he won the League Cup. With all due respect, that's not what Manchester United are in for. So that's not a target anyway. He hasn't even hit them targets. The target for Man United, for me, in my opinion, of who Man United are and what they've been, is to win Champions League, win Premier League. Simple as that. Just because you haven't won it in 10 years doesn't mean it's not the conversation to be had. And when you're a big boss like Sir Jim Ratcliffe and all these people, and then and your Glazers and whatnot, when they appoint a manager, what are they giving them? What are they telling them is acceptable? Because as depending on how they view the club, right? Because you have to have the mentality of no, we are Manchester United. Like, no, all jokes aside, yeah, we are them. This is us. And by the way, it's so much so, Man United could go to anyone's door and knock on it and say, "Oi, we've got a contract ready for you," and they are
Which I think that's what they've
leaving.
done.
They are leaving. No, but what? No. I'm talking big dogs, bro. I'm not talking. Man United is in the category conversation, job wise, as Real Madrid, as Barcelona, as Juventus, as Bayern Munich, Man City now, Liverpool. These are big. I mean, we're talking about a football club in Man United that is the biggest this country has ever seen. So this idea that we're gonna go, because we'll get onto the opinions on what's coming up next, but I think everybody needs to have a hard look in the mirror at themselves, at the suit that they wear in terms of the badge on the suit. They all need to have a frigging look at themselves and be like, no, do you know what? It's done. It's over now. The shenanigans, the nonsense, the joke thing, it's done. We should be finished with this now. We are done being, Liverpool not winning a league for 30 years, Arsenal not winning it for 20 years. We're done with being in that conversation and category now. And it's like time to just strike. Because clearly, you know what's so funny? And I've always said it from day one, the money was always there at Man United. Because you lot are pissing money like it's free, like you're in Congress, right? So it's always been there. So now it's a case of like, okay, it's weird, isn't it? Because United have done the right thing. It's taken them forever to do the right thing. It's taken them a long time, and everyone's quite confused at the timing of said right thing. And that kind of sums United up, right? It kind of sums up who they've been over the last couple of years, where even though they've made a good decision, we're all sitting there like, huh? Why now? And that sums it up, quite frankly. Eddie, was you jumping in there?
Oh yeah, but I was gonna say, right, I think this Erik ten Hag appointment, it's been a fundamental failure across the boards. Like sincerely and utterly, and I think the first alarm bell should have, you know what, it probably should have been the Anthony deal. Reason why, he was underwhelming in the Eredivisie, right? His numbers were average, his performance was average. There was nothing exceptional about him. The Man United scouts told him, at top ends, this is a £25 million winger. Top ends. This is what we'd recommend his valuation. He's gone and he's plucked 85 million quid from his backside to pay for this guy. Of course, no, but of course, he's gonna flop. So I think, for starters, just for a kickoff, right? Infrastructure was not there to support this man, and he's got his flaws. I want to get into his flaws in a second, but I think Manchester United didn't equip this guy with the tools, with the advisors, with the support. Because as you were sort of bigging it up earlier, Peter, this is one of the biggest jobs in football. It is. And I respect Ajax, and I respect Ajax's history, and he was more than great over there. But this is a completely different kettle of fish, and it was almost like he was, in some senses, here to sort of fend for himself, which is mental if you ask me. It's absolutely bonkers if you ask me. And then I think, just with Ten Hag, I think I'm going to be a bit of a journalist here, because I think what we like to do is sort of character assassinate people. So when managers and coaches don't tend to be great, we start calling them words like boring and uncharismatic. But I'm so sorry, like, for me personally, he's just so uninspiring. He's uninspiring to listen to in the presser, and I genuinely wonder how inspired Man United players feel when they listen to him. I genuinely wonder how many of those Man United players would die on the line for that manager, and I genuinely wonder how many Manchester United players over the coming sort of days and maybe even weeks are gonna sort of send in tributes, pour in, and say, you know what, I'm sorry I had to end this way, Gaffer. I really enjoyed my time with you. I improved. I developed under you. How many players can we look at in that Man United side and say, right, you've gone up in estimation. You've taken a leap in your career. You've taken you've developed under this guy, under these tutelage. There's a shortcoming in your game. So let's just use Marcus Rashford for example. There's a shortcoming in your game. Maybe like your link up play, your hold up play, whatever is poor. Let me convert you into a striker and we can go from there. So I think for me personally, just his lack of charisma, I think his lack of charisma, and it has almost festered into his tactics as well. And I think for me, the delusion is like, I understand, right, that as a coach, there's a bravado. I understand as a coach that, you can't necessarily say what's on your heart, but I just found some of the things that you were saying bizarre, and I genuinely think to myself, if you genuinely think that, Gaffer, you're insane. Gaffer, you're a madman, and Gaffer, you've got to go. And for me, he was tactically inept. He didn't have the tools to he wasn't equipped well with the tools to navigate life in England. And ultimately he's been that. And I don't think Man United as an entity have helped him at all. I genuinely don't. Why he was given the jurisdiction to go and I use the Anthony example again. Bring Anthony to the club is insanity to me, because he's genuinely average across the board at best. But yeah, man, it got to the point at the end where I just felt sorry for him, where I hate Man United and I hate anyone that's assumed the office of Manchester United manager. But by the end of that, I just felt sorry for the guy. I genuinely just felt sorry for the guy, because when you look at someone and you're out of your depth, you've got a sixth former working at JP Morgan. What the hell do you think is going to happen? What the hell did you think was going to happen? Of course, it's going to crash the economy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you, and the problem with football and other sports, to be fair, is that if you are not moving forward, you're sliding backwards. You never stand still. It doesn't happen, because the argument could be made. United's last manager was who? Who was the actual last manager? Was it Ollie?
And it was Ollie, but we had the Ranić in between. Yeah,
right. So basically, we Ollie. It seemed like the bread got stale with Ollie, right? There was a high, and it was like it got stale. We need to freshen this up. Cool. And not only that, United went a step further and said, "Listen, we're going to get somebody in. Give us some detailed analysis," which, by the way, is a concern anyway, to recruit a manager to be basically a consultant to sort of be Ofsted basically and tell you, here's the school report, this is what you need to sort out, and then not go with him anyway and not go with what he's actually said you should do. That's always a concern anyway, because if you don't even know what's going on in your own club, then that's a bit of a concern anyway.
Peter, what's the point of that whole gimmick?
I don't know. And the thing is, what's even more ironic is that what Ranić, I think, has pointed out, fans would probably be like, yeah, we agree. And also, not even just that, you almost think to yourself, what was actually the point? Because if you're not going to go with what he's had to say, what was the point of bringing him in? That's the struggle we have there. So it's an absolute mess. It's an absolute car crash of a situation. But United, I don't know. The direction with Ten Hag, I still didn't even understand it when they went for him. Do you get what I'm saying? Because
how so? How comes?
Purely because
I think it was fairly simple.
There was nothing progressive about recruiting him.
No, I think it was fairly simple.
Absolutely not.
He was winning the Eredivisie. He was doing well in the Champions League with his young team. So I thought the thought and feeling was that, this is a guy that can take a young team and do quite well in the big leagues. Not only the big leagues, on the big stage. Like, they got very far with that young team.
Yeah, but who hired him?
Hey?
Who hired him?
What do you mean? United hired them.
No, who in Man United hired him?
I don't know.
Was it not what's his face? Was it not under the Glaciers, isn't it? And my man.
The previous CEO.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but I know you're talking. Not Woodward, the guy after. He got fired after Woodward.
Murtaugh and Arnold.
Yeah, John Murtaugh. That's it.
There you go. And where are they?
Fired.
They didn't know what they were doing.
United were not, guys. We can't think for 1 second people thought United were making a progressive move here, because as you said, I even forgot the guy in between. I mean, I even forgot about this Murta guy, right? And Arnold, as you mentioned, I even forgot all about him. But the thing is that the way that you've portrayed it, Robin, is probably where United were thinking about all of this. But let's be real for 2 minutes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not your Jose Mourinho's of this world, if it's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ten Hag is not the answer for Man United. Does anybody even know
what it is? Yeah, you know what it is. I think that they thought they were being smart.
Yeah,
I think that they thought no, because I think if you really look at the rhetoric in the last 11 years, it's been that Manchester United don't operate like a football club, and it feels like any Tom, Dick, and Harry, as long as you've paid your dues, as in terms of like time spent at the club, you could be the next CEO. You could be the next executive director.
There you go.
And so Ten Hag, on the surface, if you do little to no research, is the shiny new toy. It feels like you're ahead of the curve if you don't know any better.
Yeah.
And like I've always said, Manchester United fans are the dumbest fan base in the world. I genuinely believe that we are allergic to IQ, because the things that people say in regards to why they justify Ten Hag being there tells me that they don't watch football. Do you know what I mean? Now, for me, I was like, in terms of a direction standpoint, if you think this is the guy, because I believe I'm a barber from Cricklewood, therefore I don't know any better. You guys are paid professionals to know more than me, which is fine. But if things are progressing in a pattern that are not conducive to success, and I can see it, and everyone on Top 4 Podcast can see it, and people who are paid millions. This is we're talking about the people who took over from Edward Woodward at Man United. They're not riding around on line bikes. Do you know what I mean? So my thing is, I think it's very, very clear that Ten Hag was not a well thought out decision as far as the type of football we wanted to see post Oli. It was very clear that this was not well thought out. Because go on.
No, you go ahead, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that, like, in terms of what Robin's saying, I can firmly believe that Manchester United Football Club did not actually plan life after Oli long term, because, like you said, why would you bring in Rangnick if you're not going to listen to him in the first place?
One thing I will forgive United for on this appointment is purely this, right? Is that they thought they were going to get Ajax Man United or Ajax Ten Hag or whatever the thing is.
But Ruud Gullit exposed that.
Yeah, he did. But like, it was like after a year into the camp, right? That was like that Ruud Gullit thing came out last year.
He wasn't a Man United manager when that interview was happening.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. So he was still the Ajax manager.
He's still
wasn't
an Ajax manager, because that's 2019 Champions League, and he came to us 2022.
Yes. Okay.
Do you understand? So
Yeah.
so we had. I mean, again, if you're willing to do the research, I remember watching United View. I'll never forget that day watching United View and Flex interviews the Ajax fans in Amsterdam, and I was really curious about what they said negatively, and they both said that Ten Hag has no plan B. If plan A doesn't work, he doesn't have a plan B. Because obviously, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I watched the Eredivisie. It is not. Forget top 5. It's not top 7 leagues in the world. It's not good. It's not a good league. The era of Dutch players coming to the Premier League is far gone. Far gone. Do you know what I mean? The 90s, you can talk.
Which, by the way, I don't think people realize how sad that is. Dutch football.
It is.
Where Dutch football is right now in terms of its mark and stamp in football, for where it is right now, especially the leagues.
The fall off is crazy.
It's unbelievable.
The fall off is
unbelievable.
It's unimaginable from if you looked at Patrick Kluivert lifting the Champions League in '95. It's unimaginable that a Dutch player can get to the Premier League and thrive. You know what I mean?
Edgar Davids.
Like I'm gonna take it back
this story.
I'm taking it back to like the 2017 the 2017 Europa League final we played against Ajax, Riedewald and Sanchez, the Tottenham player, two centre backs that started for them. One of them is rotting in Crystal Palace, or is he at Fulham now?
He did a stint at. I know he was at Palace last time I saw. He was at Palace, but that was some time ago now.
You know, and it's like Dutch football has really fallen off as far as like it's breeding of players across. But anyway, that's just a long.
And mind you, the coaching is diminished.
The coaching is diminished
even more so.
Arnie Slot is a, and again, we don't know about him long term, but you know, he is an exception to a huge rule.
But yeah, because in the out of the Dutch managers, we could pick a plethora. Even in the 2000s, you know, you're picking Dick Advocaat, Gus Hiddink, Van Gaal. You know, they were there. You could just throw any of them, and they were there. Van Basten, all of them. Now, literally, Arne Slot, and I'm struggling. Who's the next one?
It's peak. It's very peak. It's very peak.
Koeman. It's not Koeman. It's not Ten Hag.
It's very peak. And the point.
Or Koku.
The only point I wanted to make today, and on the pod is legit. And sorry, my face ain't showing because I'm eating. Is that essentially?
It's okay. I was eating on pod, so it's fine.
No, when I eat, it's nasty. But what's it called? Essentially, I think that I'm not gonna call this a yellow card, but Ineos is on. I'm watching them.
Thank you very much.
I'm watching them because I told you guys in the summer, put the guy in the Addison Lee, put him in a wheelie, put him in a bowl, put him in an Uber. The decision to delay this thing, is Greek yogurt and flipping dried mango is peak, bro. Flipping.
What should they have done in the summer, Ernest? Like what? Sacking Ten Hag, obviously, yes. And then what would you have done in that scenario?
So I want to explain to you my logic before I get into that, because I fully believe I belong to the religion of sacking managers. Sack them. Sack them. Because I think Manchester United fans need to get real. Like, we are a sacking club. Alex Ferguson is the exception to a huge rule.
It is a huge.
27 years is not something you hear about even every 20 years. You don't even hear that every 20 years. Do you know what I mean? So, like, we sack managers. We just haven't sacked some in the Fergie era in a long time, which is fine because the guy won. He won trophies in half the time. Do you know what I mean? But the issue here is the longer you delay with sacking this guy, the further your rivals are to progress. And for me, I want to catch up as quickly as possible. Like, that's why I said to you guys, I don't know if you remember, that if we get things right, this is the FA Cup final, I'm talking around that time, yeah? If we get things right, we can compete for the title in 2028. Because I'm including the stadium and all of that. We can start looking at top 3 challenges, top 2, and whatever. But the longer you keep this guy, the longer this thing is going to take. And so ultimately, Ineos, it was very clear that, I think even Robin was saying it to me that, how did I think it was the opposite? That, of course, Dan Ashworth is working. This is February time, me and Robin are talking. Of course, Dan Ashworth is working currently. Of course, he's not waiting for the white paper deadline. Of course, he's working at Man United already. So if that's the case, then in terms of to answer your question, Pete, I think there needs to be like super surgical bullet points of how we look to execute contracts in terms, terminate contracts, and how we look to move players on, and from the grassroots level at the club, what is the overall vision? And that vision is going to take maybe 3 to 4 to 5 years to execute, or at least to materialize fully. If you want Manchester United to hold a certain standard, you start from the kids. Do you know what I mean? Fergie changed everything with Erik Harrison at grassroots level. Do you know what I mean? And I think that we need to go back to what does Manchester United look like in 2038, in 2034? What do we look like in 10 years, in 14 years, 15 years, as opposed to quick success? And for
You know
me,
what? Yeah.
in your
might-
sounded like they were the club, they were the type of people that want to do surgical work. To keep Ten Hag, from what we'd heard you guys say about how serious you were taking this endeavor, is nonsense to me. It makes no sense to me how we heard a lot of potential positive change, the types of appointments you were making from the technical standpoint. It felt like, oh, there are going to be more chefs in the kitchen as opposed to one, because we've not had the luxury of having so many opinions that are more specialist than Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward is a flipping accountant. Do you know what I mean? All he knows is shiny new toys. But whereas I trust Dan Ashworth, I trust Jason Wilcox to be and Omar Barada to be at least three people I can trust and say, you know what, football decisions will be made as opposed to what we had before. Keeping Ten Hag and then giving him an extension was nonsense to me, because to me, at the very least, you want to say, you know what, we don't rate you, but we're going to give you to the end of the year. Whatever happens, so they avoid compensation, because it seemed like they're really on saving money because of the 100,000 seater that we're moving into. So a lot of the decisions that I wanted them to make were more grand, more long-term, more big picture. This just seemed like a cop-out to say, because we couldn't get our guy in the summer, we're going to keep you, but eventually we're going to sack you because we don't rate you anyway. And I'm like, just sack him now. Just get rid of him now. It doesn't make sense to keep him. Like it's death by 1,000 cuts. It doesn't make sense, because now we have to endure. Is it wiser to get Amorim now? Is it wiser to wait till the summer? Because again, like for me, I'm not opposed to getting Amorim in now, because we are behind. There's one thing that Ten Hag proved, is, in the words of the great prophet Sean Carter, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers against Ten Hag, are genuine.
crazy.
You know, like every year we've been bad, someone's broken a record. No, Ten Hag is the worst coach post Fergie. He is the worst coach we've ever had. The worst coach. And I had to endure 2-2 draw against Fulham when we crossed like 47 times under David Moyes. Like, I had to endure that. This guy is paying for his crimes for playing Mazraoui at number 10. That is demonic stuff. I could not believe what I witnessed the other day, man.
Yeah.
And,
Ernie,
yo,
do you feel that was suicide? Like you know, like when a man.
I can say a lot of things were suicide. I can say a lot of things were, but again, is it suicide if you give him 150 to 200 million this summer? You gave him money. Like, I don't get that. I don't understand why you would back someone when you're interviewing Tuchel, not behind his back. The newspapers are reporting it.
In front.
The newspapers are reporting that you're interviewing. I don't get it. This is why I'm like, listen, I'm very tempted to pull out the yellow card. I'm very tempted.
I think you should be there. I think you should. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you haven't given them a booking, because
I've said this.
The only grace I gave them for keeping Ten Hag was the idea that, look, is this the first time he's had structure, or the first time a Man United manager has had structure since Fergie? Or, you know, like if it's a case of like, okay, let's see how he fits in this car. Do you know what I'm saying? He was dealing with a banger and he still managed to get, finish third and whatever else. Let's give him a better souped up car, a 2024 car, and see how fast he can drive. If he's not making P3, then let's have a conversation. But from day one, and I told you, man, as well, don't forget, I watch Formula One, guys. Ineos are heavily involved in Mercedes. And let me tell you something right now. They're having a stinker at Mercedes, an absolute stinker. So when I heard, Formula One massive are heading over to United, I said, whoa, I'm perking up for this one. And it all looks good in writing and everything else. They want to save money, save this, save that. But their appointment of the next manager has to be bang on.
You have the luxury of knowledge. I had no idea who Jim Ratcliffe was outside of the fact that he owned Nice. I had no clue who the guy was. And I mean,
did you see his ownership at Nice? Have you seen it?
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I followed Nice. I just always knew that they were a team that was never going to get relegated. They were always going to be around, and they'll have one or two bad boys every few years. That I don't really care for like the French league like that.
Yeah, I mean, they have got to get this appointment right.
Well,
We've
so
got to get this appointment right.
let's talk about this appointment, because like Ernest has said, like it's looking like it's Amorim at the moment, and what they're saying is that this is Omar Beretta is pushing for this manager. He's someone that's been on people's lists. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've watched him fully outside what he's done in the Champions League and in the Reals. For me, right now, I'm looking for stability. I'm seeing a new starting 11 every week, so I need to, and that my bar is low for good reason, because we don't know what we're doing as a football club.
We're not making top 4 this year. We're not making top 6 this year.
I said earlier that I said Europa is salvageable. It is salvageable.
For me, I simply do not know how good or bad this squad is. I don't know.
I said this is better than 14th.
Okay, but is it 10th or is it 11th?
I think it's a top half team.
Oh boy, we'll see.
Right.
Because
United.
Fez.
I was just catching up.
At the moment, it's 6 points off 5th.
Guys,
That's 2 games.
You have not.
So that's I'm like it's not. I'm not saying top 4. I've given up on that.
If I look at 2 games, I think we should have won, which was obviously on the weekend and Crystal Palace. 2 games that I think Ten Hag is a crackhead, because the guy who saved your first season scored 30 goals in all competitions on the left wing. I don't care if Garnacho looks rapid in training. I don't care if he's respectful. I don't care if he opens the door for you before you lot go into the canteen. I don't care. He is not better than Marcus Rashford.
Man don't care about all that.
I don't care. Like he's just a crackhead. I think one of the biggest issues with Ten Hag is that Ten Hag made it difficult for his lawyers to back him, because he would do things like Ahmad is like the move for the goal we did score against West Ham starts from Ahmad. Like it
was a great ball. It was a great ball from him.
It's just I don't understand how simple things that people who are not coaches can see he's blind to. Like I just didn't understand it. Like the treatment of Varane on some occasions was just like ungodly, just egregious crimes. Like he's just doing so much nonsense that I just didn't understand. And now it's come back to bite him, because even in the beginning when I said some of the things he's doing are in the name of being a disciplinarian, you're not even what's the word? You're not keeping the same energy for everyone, man. You're not consistent, because Bruno Fernandes was on 2 red cards. Bruno Fernandes started all the games that he could. And I'm like, you'd bench Rashford for the first 45 against Wolves last season for the fact that was it his first season? For the fact that he was late to the beat. Like I don't get the consistency here, man. Like it's clear you had chat for certain men and not for others. And for me, like you're just not a man as far as I'm concerned. Like you're a coward, because as a coach, like you should run the ship your way. And it's just I'm more angry today. I was happy in the morning because I'm like, he's gone. But the longer I've thought about it, it's like everything I said in the summer that I was being called negative for, I was right.
Came to fruition.
I was right. Like, get him out after the FA Cup. When a man is saying things like, even if they sack me, I can win trophies elsewhere. My bro, great.
Go for it.
You do that. Knock yourself out. I don't care. But the fact that they brought Pete, the day they brought him back, I wanted to scream. I was like, why?
They brought who back?
Well,
as in to start the new season.
Because remember, Tuchel was close. Christian Falk was talking like, yo, Tuchel is on his way. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, Ten Hag comes back and says, they disturbed me when I was on holiday with my wife. Now he's in the driver's seat again, and I'm like, oh. But anyway, yeah. I think the yellow card, man, is present because they're moving mad.
Yeah, I'm surprised. You're not there yet. I guess because they've not been in that long.
I'm not there yet.
It's been 8 months. It's been 8
Yeah,
months.
I'm not there yet. I'll be real.
Is it still the first 10 minutes of the game? Yeah, is that?
It feels like that to me.
But we can acknowledge there's been a serious foul. There's been a serious foul.
There's been a foul. There has
fine.
been a serious foul.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's all.
But I'm not there yet.
No. This is Van Dijk on Kai Havertz yesterday.
Okay. Okay.
But
so,
yeah,
if you were to put, if you guys need to give me your prediction on who you want to be the Man United manager before we move things on.
Simone Inzaghi.
Great choice. Rubinho?
The names that I was seeing, the ones that I've seen the most that I would love to take would have been Nagelsmann.
Why?
I was saying the names all the same, but remember, I'm seeing like Thomas Frank. I was seeing.
I want to know why Nagelsmann.
Graham Potter.
Tell me why.
You know, I generally find his style of play intriguing. I generally think for a relatively young manager, he's actually done quite well. And I know that with his playing, there is a stability.
What's done well?
Like he done well for Bayern, unmercified. I think what he's doing with Germany, especially the last Euros, was actually very good. And in general, so yeah.
You guys need to stop pissing about, man. I'm serious, bro. I'm serious.
No, but I'm saying, okay, so who like, would you say?
I don't care. Just someone with a big set. That's the first.
But who's available?
That's the no. You see, this is no. Don't fall for availability. Don't fall for that, bro. Because when United knock on that door,
because hang on, if you told me I can knock on any door, then I'm going to Real Madrid.
I just asked you what
you. Pete, are you saying availability is the best availability?
Oh my god!
Because
I'm saying it's absolutely nothing to do with being available.
No, because if you're saying that I'm going to Real Madrid and I'm asking for Don Carlo.
This idea that because you're in a job means I can't leave the job. What? What are you talking about?
But the thing is, but there's also a sense of realism. Carlo Ancelotti's not going to leave Real Madrid. He's not going to leave Real Madrid to go to Manchester United. He's not going to leave Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid.
What is unrealistic?
I think one thing I'll give Peter is that I think he believes in Man United more than I do, because he's like, we're not moving like Man United, and that is absolutely spot on. Chelsea move more like Man United than we do.
Guys, this is why United, yeah.
We don't move like
bro.
But here's the scariest thing is because the name the newsflash. The name holds friggin' weight.
It holds weight.
If the Manchester United managerial job is available, guys, we're not sitting here debating if a manager is available to join the club. Okay. The question is, say again.
Why do you think Tuchel said no?
I don't think he wanted to work in the environment that he was proposed. The people that represented him in these meetings and everything else, they warned the United. Look, England want me. Yeah, so if you don't get your act together, I'm going to England. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was a case of like, listen, if what are my, like in interviews and everything else, what are my expectations? Who am I be working with? What's the control dynamics around? United have got bare man upstairs. So there's a certain, and I've said this a million times, like especially like say the Mourinho thing, Conte thing, and all that kind of stuff. If one has to bow, yeah. There's too many. Like when you get a big figure manager, it's good because they've obviously they've earned their weight in gold. However, what tends to then happen is there's that friction of leadership at the top, the friction of who gets to really wear the trousers in the house type of thing, and it usually seems to fail. And when Mourinho was at a big club, that seemed to be the case. Conte the same way. Tuchel's had this situation with your Bayern Munich's, your Chelsea's, your Dortmunds, whatever. But Tuchel was able to work under horrific conditions and still do something. We're talking about big boy managers, guys. And I mean this sincerely. When people say, United, you know, United went through this period where he bought names, yeah, and everybody used to say like, stop buying names, go buy players and talent and scouting and whatever. In the managerial role, guys, it's all about the friggin' name. It's all about the name.
I hear that, but I also sense realism. I'm always going to put realism as well, because I've said to you, I don't think if I got the manager that I want, which is Carlo Ancelotti, I don't think he leaves Real Madrid for Manchester United.
I can assure you, I bet he does. I can assure you, I bet he does. If they went to Don Carlo's door, especially with what he got up to on the weekend, right? If they go up to his door and say, "Listen, mate, you ain't winning La Liga this year," and you know what that means. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it to the end of the season. And Don Carlo's in a precarious position whereby I've been to Madrid, I've been there, done it, and I'm doing it again, like Skepta. You know something? He's done it twice at Real Madrid, 2 stints of absolute sensationalism. Right? He's won everywhere he's been, bar Napoli. But then again, who wins that?
And Everton. I was about to say.
He was second in the league when he left. Let's just remember that. He was second when he left to go to Real Madrid. He was second. I just want to just leave that one out there. Robin, your football club can go anywhere. They can go anywhere and say, listen, we've got something for you.
Yeah, but the problem is, these lot won't bow to the manager, isn't it?
Well, and that was the problem previously under the other leadership, wasn't it? There was a bit of butting heads of who they thought what was the best way to go.
You need to get your man that you want and bow to him. Man City prepared for Guardiola. He came in. This is who I want. Can you please go and get them? He will still go coach all the nonsense. He had Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, all them man, Cancelo. You don't have anything by. But he will coach the team and have everyone know. Don't matter.
And the thing is, don't forget, David, because City's little man when it comes to when we're talking big boy clubs at the football level, yeah. But City's little man. So City came on a humble of like, yo, Pep, we will do whatever you want. In fact, we're gonna bring one of your best guys that you've worked with. We're gonna bring him ahead of you, ahead of time, so that when you rock up, you know exactly what you're coming into. You know what I mean?
No, but
yeah.
Doesn't that not add credence to a point that surely then it's not necessarily the size or the name brand of the coach, but it's rather their fit into what you want your ideology to be and how you want to progress as a club and where you want to take the club forward. So surely shouldn't those three of Baraka and Dan Ashworth,
Baraka's great.
No, here's the thing.
I'm going mad. What's his name?
Baraka.
Radar. But the thing is, the thing is,
I saw Baraka in the comments, isn't it? Oh, my bad.
What's it called? AD. That's Manchester City. Pep was never doing that for any other club in the world. Never.
Okay.
Never. Right? If he was, because he was at Barca, he went to Bayern. Juve was the hot one that he was going to be linked with next. But Man City, because Man City are coming from a position of like, look, we've got all the money in the world. Yeah, so money's not going to be your problem here. Do you know what I'm saying? I got to try and sell this to you. I got to try and sell you the project and sell you the mission. No other football club would have got Pep Guardiola other than Manchester City. Like Newcastle now. If Newcastle were able to do what Man City did back then, because now Newcastle can't, I don't know, allowed to spend money. God knows why. But like, if Newcastle were in that position, that's where Pep would go. You know, you could see the idea of him going. But besides that, he would have gone to Man United had it as long as it wasn't straight after. Say again.
Is everyone watching the Ballon d'Or?
Nah,
it's a waste.
I'm keeping the comments.
Oh, okay.
And we will get to it. We will get to it.
Just one manager of the year.
Who?
Ancelotti.
Just one manager of the year.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. No, listen. Man United can do what they want. They can get and recruit anyone they want. They can pay.
That's been the problem, bro. I genuinely think that's the problem.
That's been the problem. Peter, yeah, is that we have spent money like a big club.
Ernest, do you remember you said to me once upon a time, we were on the podcast and we debated solid. We debated solid. And since that time, you spent $1 billion.
I mean, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, I hear you.
How much was it? Was it like, what was it? What was it? Was it 600?
We spent 1.3 since Fergie left.
Okay.
Okay. But I know.
So okay, no, so hundreds of millions are going out every summer.
We understand the point. We understand the point.
Here's the thing: if it's 1.3 billion, it means at least 100 million went out every summer. Okay, in the last 10 years, at least 100 million. So my argument is, United always have got the P's, and now my man's tightening the screws on the spending. I mean, Ernest, you had so much money. You had your ex-manager on the dole at 83 years of age.
I don't think you guys are gonna understand the level of stupidity that was.
Maybe that's why you didn't have money.
No, Alex Ferguson being on payroll, deserves a podcast on its own. That is one of the
dumbest. It's so stupid.
Like, it's so stupid. It's so dumb.
So here's the truth of the matter. Yeah, this is Manchester United. Okay, don't be fooled by league position, by this, that, and the other. When you go talk to the big dogs in UEFA, and you talk to the big dogs in FIFA, and the big dogs of all kinds of football club, of all kinds of football, United sit there with Madrid.
The thing is, they call us Manchester.
Exactly.
In the rest of the world,
the other one doesn't exist.
But you man, newsflash. What is Manchester though? What is Man United? What is their heritage? What do they have to do? How are they going to move forward?
Man United is the legacy that Sir Matt Busby and Sir Alex Ferguson have built, and we have underutilized the legacy to our advantage at probably minus 200%. We have underutilized.
That's pretty steep, man.
No, because brother, if you pay 84 million for Anthony, you don't know who you are.
Exactly. No. But exactly. What on God's green earth? How on earth do you think that's acceptable? Because look, I'm gonna be real, right? I'm not Ten Hag's. Look. Ten Hag is gone and he's crap, right? Surely, if you want him to play his football, you bring him De Jong. Surely, no.
De Jong didn't want to come.
Yeah, but it's clear that wasn't the problem.
No, but I think it's indicative of a wider problem. Whereas, what did Man United actually want to do with Erik ten Hag at the helm?
I wholeheartedly disagree that he wasn't backed. As in,
he was backed.
He was backed. With every organ that keeps me alive, I wholeheartedly disagree that he wasn't backed. Me and Peter
but bro, there's
a big debate about whether Jose Mourinho was backed. Like how many years? 2024, Ericsson Tenson Hargis cannot sit here and say he wasn't backed.
No, but bro, what I want to ask you this: what does backing mean? And also, I'm bearing in mind,
he has more money than Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
But bro, in my opinion, that's not backing. That's not backing though. Like shoving money down a man's throat. Pause. It's not backing. And I give you an example. I use the Anthony one as an example. Do you know what proper backing is?
What's proper backing?
The scouting team telling him, bro, this guy is not good. I've got Mo Salah for you. That's what's proper backing. Because when Liverpool went in for Julian Brandt and when Liverpool went in for Mario Götze, he was told, you're going so mad. Here's Sadio Mane. Here's Mo Salah. Go and dominate. Backing is not necessarily
that's an outlier.
Is it though?
Backing is. I'm sorry. If you want someone or if you want something, and the people behind you go and get that, that's backed.
I think backing is medication.
He wanted Vegas. He wanted Anthony. He wanted Sabitzer. He wanted these players.
Do you know why Robin's right? Because we've gone above and beyond to give you exactly what you want. We've catered this car. This is bespoke tailoring. This is Moss Brothers rentals to your spec before the wedding day. This is what we've done for Ten Hag.
But my thing is this though. Ten Hag's never been married before. Like for sake of argument.
No. What does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't even know that.
So what that means is, if he's saying, "Oh, I want this, I want Moshu, I want to come in a Bentley," you've got the wedding planner, the overall overseer saying, "Hang about, mate. That's not how we do things here. Well, we've got a structure. This is how we do things. These are the list of players that we've scouted and we've said are going to improve us to get us to A, B, C. Pick from the list. We go from there. It's not say for me, in my opinion, because back in is let's think of a manager in the league. Do you know what back in is hypothetically? Let's just say that Enzo Maresca at Chelsea. Oh, Enzo, you was at Leicester last season. Let's spend 60 million quid on James Justin. You really liked him last season, right? That's idiocy, man. And in my opinion, that's what I think happened to Ten Hag at Man United.
Are you saying he hasn't been backed?
I think he's been given money, but in my opinion, I think boldly giving someone money, in my opinion, it's not backing them. At some point, there needs to be a structure in place to support managers and making the right decision.
That's a separate point. You're asking us to be competent as a football club. That's a separate point.
I think what AD is saying, like, if you trying to make sure that the manager is not set up to fail. And whether we need to look at backing in a different light, because we've been so consumed with backing meaning money and transfer budgets that actually, you know what, maybe, and don't get me wrong, Liverpool were very clever with what they did with Klopp, and as you just said there, maybe it was an outlier, but like the idea that actually, you know what, how do we make sure that this manager has no excuse to fail? That seems like that's what backing is.
Because my thing is, it could be twisted to another argument and say, if we sign 11 Julian Brandts, he'll say these are not my guys, and then if we mix and match, he'll say good point. You got to be Casemiro instead of Frankie De Jong, and so I'm not operating at an optimal level. And then if you give him 11 Anthonys, he'll say, yeah, but I think I need more. I don't think you can win.
No, here's the thing. No one can debate this about Ten Hag getting backed. The backing is not the problem here. There was no reason for Ten Hag to not succeed at Manchester United.
That's my point.
Let's have it clear. So on that basis alone, if I've not given you a reason to fail, then if you're failing, see you later, mate. Yeah. At the end of the day, you can't be 14th, week 9. Like the tables.
November is next. November is this week. The clocks have gone back.
Season 3. Do you know how many series I watch?
Oh,
and what do you know what happens in season 3? It kicks off.
No,
it kicks off.
It kicks off in season 3. So my thing is like Ten Hag Jose can talk about structure is a problem. Van Gaal can say that. You can't talk about failure.
Yeah, he can't
talk about failure. No way.
Man United have not caused him to be.
The thing is,
that's the truth of the matter.
The clocks have gone back, Pete. I was saying we can't be 14th at this position.
But I told you the clocks went back in his first year, right? So it's a case of like, you know, at what point do we, you know, kill the sheep? What point do we lay it, right? So at the end of the day, look, it's been far too long. Man United we don't know how Man United play. Look at the amount of players they've got right now. Because poor bloke, whoever the next guy is, has to come out there and start ironing. See what I'm saying? And that's the problem with the situation that the hole that United can dig themselves into, is that a new manager comes in there and he has to start digging wells.
Yeah,
before he gets to do his job. That's the annoying thing. We need to move on. By the way, we've gone on.
I know. We've got to move on. But last thing, because it is the big news right now. Because I haven't seen this manager. What do other people think about?
It's
the wrong appointment. He's a great manager. It's the wrong appointment.
Why?
He's a good manager. Why? He's a very good manager. Because he won the league with Sporting Lisbon when it should have never. The team he had, some of the players he had, they're all over our Premier League at the minute. Some of the players he had in that team, if you knew the team he had in 20, 20? I think it was around that time. He had a great, let me not say he had a great side. He made that side great. And they went on, those players have gone on and done things. And don't get me wrong, he's not been fighting on that same level anymore, because your Benficas and Portos are still the Don Dadas of this world, right? So at the end of the day, he's not going to show up every single year.
So he's won the league. Did he win the league last season?
I don't think he won it last season. Did he win it last season? I don't think so. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know.
That's what I said. I haven't been watching him, but I've heard nothing but good things about him.
Here's the reason. This is the reason I say big boy things for Manchester United, because the guy has to do two jobs. He has to clear up mess and win. It's
Yeah,
not
big
it's not
money.
process. It's not project. It's not. Oh,
No,
let's.
yeah, he won a
It's
league.
not. It's not. It's not. It's not. Oh, so he won the league. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not friggin'. It's not a Graham Potter thing. It's not a Pochettino thing. It's not a Lampard thing. It's not an Arteta thing. It's none of them things, guys. They need to get a guy who can go in there and it's serious stuff. We're not mucking about, guys. This is freaking like. I don't mean Roy Keane should be in the job, but do you understand what I'm saying?
No,
If
I
I
hear what you're
The Roy
saying.
Keane mentality.
We need something because Roy Keane is somebody, and it's the number one thing I love about him, right? The mentality of this man. It's Michael Jordan-esque. We laud Michael Jordan for this kind of mentality. We lauded Kobe Bryant for this kind of mentality, right? There are some, look at serial winning. I'm sick to death of watching Man United, and I'm looking at them with a manager that's below their class. Sick to death of it. And the thing is, I'm not a Man United fan. I love to see Man United lose. Let's have it right. But even at some stage, the rival even looks at the competition and says, what the flip's going on over there? You know, sometimes
You know how many non-United fans have said to me, "Nah, the league needs Man United back." I said, "Raw, you lot care like that,
brother." That's the thing. Like even in that Mourinho stage, right, where people had said what they had to say. That team at one point, you know, when it was finishing second behind Manchester City's 100 points, yeah, it was like, okay, we can do something with this. We can build from here. You know what I'm saying? Pogba still would be the best midfielder in your team now. You know what I'm saying? Like that there was something about you lot. Now you've lost all that zest. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. And now the manager that comes in, I swear down, Rubinho, Ernest, if you bring in a manager that's not cut to wear the suit.
Why do you think Amorim is not fit?
No. I just think he's not fit because the job that's too big for him. That's a job. We're talking. I think the scale of job is tremendous at Man United.
The issue I have with the current job now is that it's not Man United in 2016.
Sure.
2024, the 100,000 seater is the main thing on my mind. I saw what happened to Madrid and how tricky it was when they had to substitute the Bernabeu.
Yeah,
like it's not the same. Mentally, you approach the game very differently. You might feel like the underdog sometimes, and the scale of the job.
Look at us, Ernest. Look, we went through that.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna sit here and say whether Amorim is the guy or not. I'm gonna give him as much time until I start to see cracks to question. Same thing I did with Ten Hag. It was the Wolverhampton game at the beginning of last season. I said, "Yep, get him out." That was
successful stadium repair, building, whatever, whilst trying to keep a team competitive, requires top dog managers in the helm,
and it also
and you need that stability. Sorry, say that again.
It also requires zen. Like
1,000%. Yeah.
You have to be the steel.
Yes.
Like you have to have legitimate cojones, because there will be some embarrassing results. But they don't have to be 7-0s. They don't have to be 6-3s against. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Maresca's the guy, but I like the way Maresca talks, man. Like, Maresca's like, yeah, we know with Mikhailo, you know, it's a bit slower for him to progress. You know, he's not as fast as for the other player. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's sticking it on.
He's sticking it on guys, bro. He's telling them where they should go. He's telling them where some of them should be training and where should they be playing.
Like Arnie Slot
where to stick the sun
are what I want to be as a coach. I don't give a monkeys about none of you.
And by the way, FYI, I just want to say, people moan about the same thing when it comes to Conte. Just want to say that, right? He's top of the league with Napoli. Just want to say that when Conte was talking like that, nobody wanted to hear it. No, everybody was like, "Oh, come on, Conte, what are you on about?" Yeah. Go watch his last interview at Spurs, bruv, when they drew 3-3 with Southampton after being 3-0 up. Yeah,
one of the greatest interviews of all time.
You listen to what the guy is saying. Listen to what he's saying.
Jose's football heritage, you know.
It's definitely up there.
It's elite.
And the thing is, with Conte, we got it in snippets. We got it at Burnley away one day, and we got it at, I think, Vitesse away. And it was like, I'm starting to understand the situation here. I'm starting to get what's going on. And then on the last one, he said, no. You give everyone alibi. Everyone gets alibi. No, I'm not playing that game anymore.
He said, what's this word? Alibi? Alibi? He was cracking me up, man.
Listen, I've been watching the man. You try to always ruin the reputation of the manager. I've seen the managers in this dugout at Tottenham. I've seen the manager. I've seen what kind of manager you've had.
And he's like, they're not dead managers.
He says no. You said, "Oh, trying to ruin us." It was a managers' union press conference, mate.
Yeah.
Nah. Anyway, that would have been my take. Anyway.
Can we move on? Enough
Yep.
of Man United.
Let's talk about if football has gone too far, shall we?
What do you mean?
Because I know we need to look for Man United, but
Robin,
there are some things that I'm talking
hour
about the game.
and 25 minutes.
Bruv,
I am talking about the game.
And your dead club.
I'm talking about this decisions that referees
5 minutes.
are making.
5 minutes. Only 5 minutes.
No, because it's agreed
I'm not
onto.
gonna lie to you. Yeah, I don't.
you lot can hold that, bruv. Dallo had the whole of E15 and E20, and he missed, bruv. Move, man.
I
didn't realize he beat the keeper.
The keeper. Oh no! I don't want to think about Dallo because my head's getting hot. My issue, and I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about Mr. Oliver.
Oh, shout out to Big Mike. Because if it's not for him, Ten Hag's still here.
The thing is, yeah, you should be thanking it. Go get that brown envelope that you've got tucked in underneath that drawer. I can see it. Go give it to Michael Oliver. Okay,
no,
give it to him because he's got your manager.
For Christ's sake,
do you know what's so funny?
Euros in there.
In the first half, I said. One second, Robin. In the first half, I thought Lopetegui's job's. They're going to fire him at the stadium because there's no way he made the dressing room at half time. There's no way he did. I don't believe for a second Lopetegui went in that dressing room at halftime. Because if he did, he was gone. He was going to be walking up the exit gate from the tunnel. And then they, because all these changes that took place, guys, West Ham were garbage in the first half. They were getting awful, touched by Man United.
You see why I'm saying Lopetegui's going to be sacked first?
Listen.
Anyways, I don't care about the game. What I care about is football. And when football is applied properly. What I saw when West Ham got that penalty was nothing but a disgrace.
Your referee, forget Michael Oliver. David Coop bottled the decision again. Because it happened to
Absolute
us. We literally spoke about this last week. You didn't go into that thing and saw something new. You did not. You did not look in that TV and saw actually, because he gave no penalty, didn't he? He was like, move on with the game. Let's crack on, right? And he's been told to go there. And you know what's so funny? You know when he gave the decision for the penalty, did you see his face? With no conviction whatsoever. And a man who was like, I am absolutely crapping myself now as I speak. My face is grey. His face was grey when he gave that decision because he knew it was an absolute utter load of BS. He knew it and he still gave it. I was like, what are you bottling it for? You've absolutely shanked it. But it's a nonsense.
First of all, I need to know what Mike Oliver is saying. Because
contact.
What in the good name of the football, that's what we're gonna call it, is that a foul that deserves a penalty? When even the West Ham fans are not contending, when even everyone's just like, yeah, let's move on. What made you want to give a penalty away? Was it a bet? Was it just a hate? I don't know. But we were screwed. Like we generally were screwed.
Yeah, you were.
For no reason.
You were, but it's not why you lost the game, though, is it?
It's not why we lost the game.
Fair enough.
But it is an absolute screw.
You know what? Yeah. Because you know what? Yeah. I've been thinking about what you were saying. You know, you were like, fire them all, fire all them, refs, fire them all.
Fire all the rest.
And you know how I felt last season. Last season, guys, I saw red mist last year when I was at, where was I? What ground was that? St. James's Park. I saw red mist and I said, I'm not talking about it again, ever again. Then I sat there and said, you know what? At the end of the day, right? If it is the reason for you not winning a match, cool. If it's not, forget about it. Because we will be here forever and a day. And if we can agree that Man United losing to West Ham was down to the fact that it was the incompetence of the first half finishing, really and truly, because United could have been 3 and 4 out of sight. West Ham, half the stadium would have been empty, and West Ham are not attacking for nobody, right? So, yeah, I think at the same time, you're absolutely, listen, you're right. The football, the refereeing, the football, it's a joke in this country. It's an absolute joke. And we've been talking about it week in, week out. The other thing I've been annoyed about this week as well is, have you seen how many times people were kicking the ball away after a free kick was given? The Emirates had about three jeers of just players just knocking the ball away after a free kick has been done. And I said, you know what? This game is dead. It's in the bin. It's in the frigging bin. I'm sick to death of the referees in this place.
Can we go over to the Emirates, please?
Yeah, that's what I said. We can now lead into the shenanigans that happened over there.
Yes, Arsenal 2, West Ham 2. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. Points are shared at the Etihad after a big blockbuster top 4 derby. David, man, talk to me. Like, what? How are you feeling after the result?
Listen, we started off well. Saka had Robertson in a bundle, yeah.
In a spliff.
In a spliff, bruv. Twist him up, goal. Lovely, yeah. Then obviously Havertz once again losing his man on the corner. How did you let Luis Diaz beat you to that ball, bro? It's a joke, bro. The smallest man on the pitch.
Say that again. What's that? The say that
the
again.
Equalizer.
Yeah. Oh,
what are you doing?
Diaz winning headers in the penalty box.
Why?
Is unacceptable.
Unacceptable, bro.
He can't win headers. He can't win flick-ons.
What?
He's a flicker for crying out loud. Come on.
Say again.
I said, yeah, he's winning flick-ons like he's 4-4. That's ridiculous, man.
Like he's crouched, knocked down header. Like, what's going on here,
man?
What is going on here, bro? And then we get back, we get 2-1 up. Fine. Peter, I'm gonna say this, yeah. I don't believe in Arsenal, bro, and I don't think they believe in themselves.
Ooh. I'll tell you what, David. Here's where I can agree with you on that last comment. Right, I am watching too many times us revert back and sort of go in our shell in games, and it's always when something in our team happens. Right, whether it's a red card, whether it's an injury, it was alarming yesterday when Gabriel went off. Who else was it that went off? Gabriel went off, and I was a bit like, why are we? Liverpool had the ball, and then when I tell you that us man camped like the Israelites in our own half, we were camping for time because where I'm at in the stadium is more towards the North Bank, so the football was all the way at the clock end. The football was all there for about 20 minutes, and I said, "Yo, guys, what's going on? Get your finger out! Like, why are we acting like?" Because I was like, "Are we down to 10 men?" I'm looking at my notes, and I'm like, "No, we're still got 11 men." And I can't understand why that's the case. Why we're still sitting here like, we are a bit nervous at this moment in time. And I don't know whether we're letting things get to us. You know what I'm saying? So like, even if we feel unjustified, like we feel like we've been screwed over, or we feel like certain things happening against us, whether it's an injury, whether it's a suspension or whatever, we just seem to hide for about 5 minutes. But when you're playing against a team like Liverpool, the inevitable will happen. Disappointed because we took the lead twice. You know what I'm saying? We took the lead twice. And I tell you what, not that I've never believed in him, not that I've only for whatever, for whatever the case may be. But guys, my feelings about Bukayo Saka is, I honestly, he turned up on the day, he walked on, and he was like, right, where was I? Do you know what I'm saying? Against Liverpool, big game. Man scoring a big goal in a big moment, And in the same breath, I'm livid because Van Dijk, the tallest man in the building, has a free header on goal. The Mo Salah goal. Here's the thing: Liverpool got those clutch play. They've got that moment where the big men stepped up for them on the day. Away at Arsenal, we're gonna get 2 goals minimum. Yeah, and at least we won't be losing that game.
I don't know what Kivior was doing there, bruv.
The thing is, Trent's ball, because I'm literally behind it. Trent's ball was quite.
It's a ball, bruv.
It's no, but you know what makes it brilliant? The runs of both Salah and Nunes, because they both. Even I was like, "Wait, who's he going to?" I was bamboozled. So
because
God knows when you're pedaling back, if you're pedaling back, yeah, go on.
If Salah had gone for it, it would have been offside.
Okay.
Salah was offside.
But bear this in mind. I'm behind Trent, watching it go down the line. So if he sends this ball where Nunes obviously cleverly, he knows, listen, I've got to meet this ball, and in the same juncture, Salah's going into the box, whereby Kivior is sitting there like, this is hell on earth. I can't have a ball from Trent coming in my direction. That's not good. Number 2, I can't have Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah running at me. I can't have that. I can't have that. And if I don't attack the ball, guess what? Salah's in the penalty area with one-on-one with David Raya. Like it's so stark, and it's something that I had great admiration for with Liverpool, because it's like, listen, when they turn on that screw, man, they can hurt you. But I will say this: I was a little bit disappointed in Liverpool. Not disappointed in it as negative as it sounds, but obviously AD's watched Liverpool a lot closer. I haven't watched them that close, but watching them play, I was like, I wasn't aware that Liverpool were going to be, because Raya didn't have to do much. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're going to say, yeah, but this is football in general now, yeah. There were times where Gakpo would get the ball, turn, bruv, and go, but everyone keeps passing.
There's no like bang.
Everyone's got possession, everyone does, and I'm just like, bro, you got time, turn, bruv, and then bang. Everyone does it, and this is, I see it regularly in the league, across the league. Everyone, I'm just like, yo.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I genuinely felt like, you know what, it was what was gutting is just to see us get another injury in the books, and then, you know, see my team revert. Other than that, I have got no complaints. You know, the goals, obviously, I'm disappointed in the goals we conceded, because we found ourselves, you know, Liverpool were always going to score that second goal. Even though we were 2-1 up for a little while, it was always going to come. But, you know, it's them ones where, look, we'll take stock. If you can't win, don't lose. And we did just that against our rival.
We're dropping too many points, though. I won't lie to you, bro.
Listen, man, it's the start of the season, bro. Like, at the end of the day, if Arsenal are within touching distance, and same goes for Liverpool, City, they all have the same mantra. If they're touching distance come January, February, the gas turns on. Like, remember this time last year? I remember a lot of people complaining about Arsenal this time last year.
Yeah, but
and then the switch turned on, and guess what, bro? We were there fighting to the end.
I hear you, bro, but
it's a simmer. We're slow cooking. And it's like, you know, remember, was it 2 years ago? We were hot off the gas, blood. You know, but we were in, ready, gone, and we gassed out. Last year, we let them bring it to a boil and then pounce. This year, we're doing slow cook.
Nah, man, these points count, bro. Some of the points we've dropped, you will look at it at the end of the season and go like, this is where we lost the league. This is where we lost the league.
I don't think that's going to be. Remember what I said to you as well after the Bournemouth defeat. What I was so gutted about and annoyed about is that I know we're going to turn up on Sunday against Liverpool. I did say we would beat them, and you know we didn't. But we turned up. The first half we were amazing. We were so good in the first half.
Do you feel like you're gassing up quite recently?
No, we're just getting. I purely think as soon as something happens, like an injury or an injustice, we just shell. We just turtle for some reason. And I can't get why. And I think that's one thing Mikel has got to really, really hone in.
It might be that your mantra is to defend first.
Yeah, it may well be. Yesterday it felt like we were down to 10 men again, though. That worried me.
No, but the point is, I think you guys are clearly more Jose Mourinho than you are Pep. It's clear. Arteta does not want to concede, which is fair.
I don't disagree with that. I don't. You know, if you remember when Mikel came in at the beginning, at the very first thing, one thing we stopped doing was conceding stupid goals.
Yeah,
we was conceding goals left, right, and center. It was 1-0 to the Arsenal, literally George Graham vibes. And now, listen, I'm for it, man. At the end of the day, like one thing you don't know Arsenal well, that when we used to concede goals at a canter, it was comical stuff. The defending was awful.
You're not conceding dumb goals anymore.
We're not conceding necessarily dumb goals.
No Koscielny against Birmingham.
No.
Like you're not,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
Anymore. But at the end of the day, I think you've given something for something. And Arteta's struggle is in finding the balance in how to be a good offensive team and how to be a good defensive team.
Now the problem we have now, Saka, I know what he's going to do on the right, He's either going to cross it or he's going to have a shot on goal. The left-hand side and my striker, it's a big problem. That's where...
sorry to distract, but what do you guys think of Saka's position in the Ballon d'Or list?
Where did he come?
I
think he was 21.
He was 21.
Don't worry, let him buy this time. Let that be fuel.
Just as a 24-year-old winger, he's almost top 20.
It depends. It depends. It depends on what's ahead. You know what I mean? I have to see the list for me to even have a judgment.
Well, the winner has been announced.
Yeah, I see people in the chat put it through. Breaking news for that.
Yeah,
we have got a defensive midfielder winning the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's what I wanted to win anyway.
Say again?
Really?
I wanted to win anyway.
I think overall, you know, he's won the Euros, he's won the league, he's been fantastic. Let's have that.
I don't know if he's been better
Some
than Vinny.
big goals as well, to be fair.
Big goals as well. You don't know if he's better than Vinny.
Yeah.
I think more than Vinny, I think he walks into every team in the world.
Vinny is certainly fantastic, certainly brilliant. But first of all, let's put a blanket carpet out here, yeah? No one cares who wins La Liga. No one.
Yeah.
The Premier League, as it may or may not be showing, if you win the Premier League and you're like one of the best, you win an international competition, you will be Ballon d'Or winner.
Got to the Champions League quarter or semi? Which one?
I think it was quarter. Who did they lose to?
I think was it not semi?
Was it Madrid? Who did they lose to? Depends. Who did they lose
They
to?
lost to Madrid.
Then it was
Madrid,
quarter.
remember, Madrid won the Champions League.
I think City would have faced Dortmund for real, yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been quarters. Because they lost to Bayern, didn't they? Bayern lost to Real Madrid in the semi.
Yeah.
So you know, the fact that the year before, right, where they won the treble, I think Haaland should have won it probably that year, right? Haaland should have won it, but Messi won the World Cup, so therefore, see you later, mate. All right, that's exactly what happened, you know. And Rodri could be argued to win it then that year as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's listen. At least it's not just stat padding that won it. At least it's not just like this is somebody who's taken into account that this guy has been an exceptional player for his team all year, and to the point, what aids his chances as well. When he doesn't play for Man City are wobbling, still winning but wobbling. My God, the contrast is stark.
The drop off is crazy because Kovacic is not it, man.
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
I'm just happy he didn't go to Bellingham.
Did you think that the Madrid doing a boycott, because that's what they essentially did, do you think that was fair or right?
We don't care, man.
Why did they boycott?
Because Vinicius didn't win it, man.
Real Madrid,
because they got told around about lunchtime. They got told about lunchtime that Vinny wasn't going to win, so they all boycotted. There's no Madrid personnel.
Idiots, man. They're just idiots, man.
Grow up, man. Yeah, so losing sports.
What should Lewandowski do then? Hire out a gun?
Bro,
he should call John Wick.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Madrid need to do one, bruv. Like, just go away, bruv. They move on like,
it's the Los Blancos thing, innit? Like, it's fed in.
So sassy, bro.
Like Florentino Perez has got the siege mentality all the time.
Big man, you're not Ronaldo in it to boycott the thing, but move, man.
Man. What's it called? AD, Liverpool. How are you feeling? You know, you got a point at the Emirates against the title challenging side, one of your rivals. You know, you held your own, man.
I think, bro, in the end, you know, I just sort of was a massive sigh of relief, you know, that we ended up nicking a point. But I can't lie, going into the game, obviously, I had a look at your sort of the players that you sort of had missing on the day, and in my eyes, I thought to myself, right, what is this Arne Slot Liverpool side actually saying in relation to this league? Do we genuinely, are we up for it? Are we ready? And for me, in my opinion, you know, if we wanted to lay down a marker, you go to Arsenal, you go to them in the depleted state. So just to give you guys some context, that back four that ended that game, 0 out of the 4 played in their starting position, if that makes sense. So you say of the 4 that actually played, only Ben White you probably call a starter, and he was playing at centre half as opposed to right back. So I just thought to myself, you know what? If we go down, if we lower the boom, and if they're 7 points behind us, and if they're 6 points behind City, I genuinely think that's title race over. And I know it's premature, and I know it's only in October, but I just think, okay, you might pip Liverpool to the league, but then to pip City as well, after being 6 points down. So that's my thinking going into it. And I think for me also, I wanted to sort of see how Liverpool. Well, to be honest, how Arne Slot goes into a game wherein you're not necessarily going to have the lion's share of possession, and in my opinion, we're going to want to see you sort of go for it. Really, you're going to want to see you sort of grab the game by the bull of the horns, attack kind of thing. You know, because control is cute, control is nice, but ultimately, sometimes it's a game of passion, isn't it? And sometimes you need your fullbacks overlapping, and sometimes you need your strikers creating chaos. And I don't know if it was a tactic or if it was players just sort of taking it upon themselves to do those things, which I personally love to see. And I think for me, yeah, as I sort of said at the top of the hour, that's the top of the hour, you know. But as I sort of said at the top of my point, I think for me, you know, really happy to sort of come away with a point. And I think what the game sort of told me is like my lesson of the day. I think our decisive players just sort of stood up, man, and done their thing. I think, you know, Kanate, big up Ibu Kanate. I think he's been imperious all season. It almost seems
brilliant.
bizarre.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. It almost seems bizarre as to why in God's green earth Kwanzaa was even starting against Ipswich. I know you got hooked, but you've got this mountain of a man who looks a lot comfortable. And Martinelli didn't want it. And by the way, just sort of touching on Martinelli, yeah. I know Peter, I don't know, David, I don't know if you think this about him, but I think I think a big thing for him is confidence, you know, because I give you an example, like historically he struggled against Kanate. But the one time I think he's giving Kanate a pasting, it was the game. It was the game at the Emirates last season where in his first action he takes it past him and he gains that confidence. I know. What do you man think of that? Do you think there's something? Did you think like Martinelli is not on the decline? That's harsh, but do you think he's sort of stagnated, or do you think there's like a mental barrier blocking him from kicking on to the next stage?
What I see Mikel doing with him is playing him into form. And if there's one thing. Like you look at the start of the season, he started every game where he's been fit. He started every game on the left wing. Bearing in mind, Trossard finished the season last season like a house on fire from the left. What do I see? He had a big injury. And it takes time. It takes time to get back into that zone, in that rhythm. Arsenal haven't been like fluid sensational, and Martinelli's been stinking out the joint. Collectively, everybody's still kind of like, look, we're still getting our feet into this, and it's I'm seeing the exact same thing last season of Arsenal as a whole, where we're turning the engine on, we're just trying to put some coal in the fire, and when it's ready, you can stick that chicken on for that barbecue, and when the time's right, Martinelli will be back. He'll be back doing what he does.
When was he last good though?
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. He was last good 2 seasons ago.
Guys, Pete, I won't lie to you. I'm worried.
A season and a half, whatever. You know, this season, like last season, was not a great one for him, but the year before, tremendous.
Yeah, back to
tremendous.
15, wasn't it? Innit? 14, 15, I think.
Yeah, it was a problem.
Yeah, man, Saka.
It was a problem.
I'm worried.
Why?
I know what I'm going to get from Saka. I'm not worried about Saka when he gets 1-on-1. He doesn't need no overlap, he can twist a man up. And Martinelli, it just seems he always needs that space to run on something, and it's easy his decision making is clear. He knows what, when he's 1-on-1 and he has to beat a man, and then he's a bit of hit and miss, isn't it? The techers ain't there, mate.
But do you think he has the techers?
Nah.
No.
To beat a man 1-on-1, where they like when they're by the 18-yard box, like in close proximity, because people now know how to defend him. Don't give him space. He's not going to do much. Saka, he don't need much space to get his shot off or make an assist.
Look, in the 9 games, right? Martinelli, I think, has got 2 Premier League goals. He's got 2 assists. I think he's got 1 in the Champions League as well, an assist, right? In 9, he's got 4 contributions in the terms of on a stat padding vibe. It's not that bad for me. That's not that bad for me. And he's not in the. It's not like the iron isn't hot yet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're still getting there, but don't get me wrong, because he was so good 2 years ago, I can understand why people are doubting, because it's like flipping out where the level's so there's a big gap. Even the fact that he's getting one-on-one chances and he's missing, right? That's where people start getting concerned and worried. But the injury for me was the problem. He had a big injury. It was a big injury, and Trossard filled in the boots, and we didn't miss him too tough, but we do miss that 2023 Martinelli for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think he will? So you're saying that he's not reached his ceiling yet?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Mike Mandem, newsflash. Martinelli, you ain't seen nothing yet. Especially like what we're watching with Saka. Yeah, Saka, for example, who's never injured. He's getting that churn. He's getting the minutes. He's getting that rep. Yeah, he's getting them reps in. You know what it's like when you're in the gym and you got them reps in the tank. You've been going every other day. You know what I'm saying? 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12. You start peaking, you hit the next weight. Martinelli is at the beginning stages of finally a run without any disruption, a run straight. I'm not, and credit to Mikel, because I could see that's what he's trying to do with him. He's clearly trying to get this guy reps in the tank, because if you start him, then you stop him playing again, and you're not going to get that continuity. And some players, especially with long-term injuries, remember he was out for a little while. He was out for a little while with a big injury. So, mate, Martin is the least of my worries, and he's still scoring and assisting, and he's still being important for us. By the way, he's actually still being a good player, like an impactful player for us. Anyway,
and I think. Yeah, and I think similarly, Kanai sort of struggled with injuries as well. So I definitely know the hymn book you're sort of singing from. I think again, sort of Van Dijk, imperious, captain, fantastic, scores a goal. But I do have to be honest. I do think what he done on Kai Havertz in sort of the 4th minute, it was incredibly stupid. It was incredibly rash, and in my opinion, it's a red card. Because I'm sorry, if Gabriel does that, what am I telling you? I'm telling you, it's Arsenal again, isn't it? Yeah, it's stupid. It's hot-headed. So I'd have to go honest to that. Andy Robertson is on borrowed time, by the way. It's not quite Branislav Ivanovic at Chelsea, because there was one season where the wheels just came off. He went from like a 2012 Corsa to like a V-wrench overnight. It was ridiculous. The oil was leaking on the pitch. Because, bro, what? Yeah, go on.
No. All I was gonna say is, you know what? There's some football. One thing I love about listening to ex-footballers on certain podcasts, giving there's footballers that you don't realize have got so much information to share. That you think, oh, I'm actually quite surprised by this. There was one footballer, I can't remember who it was now, but he was saying, when you see players have such great seasons and then there's a nasty dip out of nowhere, he says that pre-season training, if you mess about with the pre-season training, you don't recover, because everyone's gone. Because everyone's gone by the time it's game week 3, they're gone in terms of fitness and all this, that, and the other. And he was saying, because he was saying about himself. I'm trying to remember who it was now. But yeah, go on.
Do you know what? That's crazy. Because I do distinctly remember we was obviously we had the Euros in the summer, didn't we? And then Andy Robertson, I think he got like a knock for Scotland, right? Yeah. And then I do remember we was at pre-season tour in America.
Yeah.
But he didn't go to that. It's funny that you mentioned that. It's crazy.
So he's already come back to a side whereby everyone's already 100 miles an hour under the SWAT regime. He's not even been on the,
he's doing 60 in the middle lane of the motorway.
It's like
he's got no speed.
Kieran Tierney's the same, mate. Zinchenko, I think, is a reason, is another one why Miles Lewis Skelly's getting picked ahead of him at this moment in time. That's stark. That's freaking stark. That is.
It's a way away. But and guys, by the way, you see, I didn't know that Saka had that in his game, bro. Like the way he gave Robertson the best. Literally, he gave him the best seat in the house. He sat him down. He said, Right, sir. Here's your iron brew. Let me go and check on your starters with the chef. I'll be right back. And he just let Robertson sit down and watch everything unravel right before his eyes. I couldn't believe it. Because that cooking, you're gone.
Yeah, no, go continue. Sorry.
Because that cooking, because going back to your point of sort of not being sort of match sharp or maybe a pre-season sort of dictating how your the rest of your season goes, and that's not to say Robertson's necessarily been bad this season, but he has been caught out a couple of times now.
It's
He almost,
almost. Sorry.
I was just gonna say he almost runs ahead of the ball. I don't know. I don't know if you realized. It was like he was just.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so desperate to keep up. I've hit a gear I didn't need to go into, and I've gone past Saka, and it's too late.
And the thing is, yeah, with
That's brilliant.
that first goal, all he had to do was stay with his defensive line. That's
Stay with his defense. Yeah.
It's
Also,
unfortunate that he's had Noni Madueke and Saka back-to-back weeks.
It's about weeks.
I think that's part of it. Who's Liverpool got next week?
Nah, bruv. Madueke, he was shook from opening tap.
Yeah, man.
Who you got next week? AD.
Oh, bro.
I think it's Brighton, ain't it?
Yes,
Brighton.
Yeah,
And then we got them in the cup. Then we got them in the cup as well. And for me, you know, I sing Van Dijk's praises every chance I get. For me personally, he's got to be coming across and helping out his mate there. He's left him in an island one, and he's got in the business. I think for me, the midfield was so lethargic, particularly McAllister. I mean, he was on a yellow card. Maybe that's why. I know we all slag off Szoboszlai, but
McAllister had an awful game.
Yeah, it was so poor. It was so poor. Because I think with McAllister, it's like, I get he's not the quickest, I get he's not the strongest, but he can look after himself. You know what I mean? Like he can win his deals, he can tackle, he can mix it up a bit. But yeah, he was just completely off the pace. For Rice bossed it. Marino's pretty good as well. But going back to the initial point I sort of said about quality and your best players being decisive. What a finish from Mo Salah, because that is a class finish, and let's be honest with you, right? Salah is he's in a marksman era, he's in the Arch of Infamy era, where he might do next to nothing for 85 minutes in the game, but he'll get that chance and he'll bury it, or he'll get that penalty and he'll put it away, or he'll do something with the outside of his boot and it's an assist. So I think what we're sort of seeing from Mo Salah now is, yeah, he's in that stage of his career where he's not necessarily, you know, his powers are waning. He's not as quick as he was. He can still look after himself in deals and stuff, but I think it's just his decisive qualities that we're going to be using him for, man. And pick up Darwin Núñez, because I think Darwin Núñez had a phenomenal week. If I'm being real, I don't, you know, against Chelsea, brilliant, covered every blade of grass, and I think, you know, just to sort of compartmentalize his game in football manager terms, yeah, physicality, world class. I think technically he's good, you know, like the amount of assists. I mean, I read somewhere, but even with my eyes could tell me that's the 15th time Núñez and Salah have sort of linked up together to score a goal. And I actually think Núñez is quite a decent passer, but I think where he lets himself down is mentally. Like, even when he scored against Bournemouth, he's crying and it's all too emotional. And unfortunately, and Peter, you might disagree. Unfortunately, I think the ship has sailed. I don't think he's ever going to be a 30 goal a season striker. Unfortunately,
do you know what I think? But do you know why I think that is?
Why?
Because I agree with that comment, but I think it's due to the fact that you've got a 30 goal a season right winger. You don't get two. You don't get the option of two. Unfortunately.
Wow.
So when Salah is the one that's scoring 30, take it and off we go. You know what I'm saying? And as you just said, if it means Darwin's gonna have to play a little Firmino role, so be it till he's gone.
Peter, I mean, in credence to your point, look at how that goal unravels. You know, world class ball from Trent. Who, by the way,
yeah,
his distribution was awful all game.
All game, yeah.
All game. Bro, like, and I've said this for a while. Him and Bruno, they're from the same school, bro. They're petulant. Like, when it's not going their way, they're throwing a straw up, and they're just it's what did they call it? It's a Hollywood ball. It's Hollywood ball all the time. But guess what? When you've got the quality that he does, it can come through in a decisive moment. And then if you look at the movement, you know, Darwin is like, Mo, don't worry, I've got this. I will get the ball to where you need it. Just go. And as you say, he's sort of putting in the hard work. Because yeah, Peter, spot on. Because I think the realization that we're coming to with Darwin Núñez is he's a component. He's a cog. He's physical. He'll work hard. He's pace, and he'll frighten defenders. And then, as you said, Mo Salah is still your main man. So yeah, bro. I think just to sort of sum it all up, I'm personally sort of happy. I'm sort of happy to leave with a point. I do think, and then you sort of you put on the players. I still kind of think it's, but then I kind of saw. I wonder where Arteta's hand is on that personally, because this is a theme, and also if you remember, a couple of years back it was the same thing where you be 1-0 up and you just go into your shell again. So, but I think you lot just gave us the lion's share possession, and as you said, if you do that with a side of the quality of Liverpool, we're gonna punish you, and we'll punish you eventually. You know what I mean? It was like 45 minutes. I don't even think he even wanted to score a third goal to sort of win the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, didn't look like it at all. Didn't look like it at all. But listen, I'm happy to see Arsenal by the time, because it's a long season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We've been burnt before by treating it like a sprint. But as long as we're thereabouts, don't let us be close. Because if we're close, we're in the party. We're gonna swing and fight. Just make sure you guys do your job. City will be there because they're the ones to beat. But yeah, just make sure you guys are there, man. You guys are there. Salah scored 50 Premier League goals. He's top 7 fastest to get there in terms of how young he is as well. Which, when you look at the plethora of players that are ahead of him, I think there was 5 strikers and Cristiano Ronaldo. Do you know what I'm saying?
And it just Fowler in there, I think. Yeah.
And don't forget. This guy started playing at left wing back in his Premier League's senior career. So yeah.
Odd observation from myself.
I like an observation.
50 seemed low for Bukayo Saka.
So I thought it's interesting you said it, because when I saw it, I thought, is that impressive? I don't know. Then I looked at the calendar. I looked at the table, rather, of the plethora, the company he was in. And I saw Harry Kane. I saw Robbie Fowler. I think it was Michael Owen, Lukaku, Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo. I said, you know what? Well done, Bukayo. Because you got there young. You got there young.
What I mean by that is, I feel like he's been doing 15 a year for like 4 years now. Like, for me, in my mind, yeah, Saka could be on like 70. Saka's on like 77 goals. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Fair enough. No, I think the goal scoring Saka started to come slowly, like a 2021-22 season. You know what I'm saying? Before that, it was
COVID.
Also like
it was COVID time.
He
started.
I feel like I wouldn't even say COVID. I don't think it was even COVID, mate. I think it was the season after where it was like, you know what, it's probably time to, really kick on. And I think when Saka and Smith Rowe were having prominent roles in the team, when we had the crowd back, that was the first time. But hey, I hear what you're saying. He's been with us for a while.
Yeah. Did you miss Smith Rowe, by the way?
Did you see his? Do I miss Smith Rowe, Adrian?
That's what I'm asking you, bro. Because I watched
Fulham.
I watched Everton versus Fulham, and seeing what Smith Rowe did for their goal, I just sat there like, what were we thinking? Like, what were we actually thinking? This is a signing that's really got me upset. Like when Ozil and Sanchez went. Because I was just sitting there like, what? Because what Smith Rowe could do in our side right now, bearing in mind he had 90 minutes against Luton Town last season in the Emirates, and he got man of the match. We won 2-0, and he was just everywhere. When you need somebody to dig you out of a hole, like what Arsenal were in yesterday, even at Bournemouth, he will take the ball from the midfield and take it to the penalty area in no time. And I saw this guy take the ball, dance through Everton's midfield, which isn't hard, don't get me wrong. Dance through the midfield, and then all of a sudden make a move straight away, set up Alex Iwobi, and then done.
Do you know what? Because this is the narrative I've sort of heard. I've heard from Arsenal fans.
I was thinking it's someone cooking a burger.
So we got some patties on the grill.
Clanging and banging. Because Arteta, what I've heard is that Arteta Arteta just done it as like a gentleman's agreement. He feels bad about the injuries and he feels bad about not having the opportunities to play him as much. So he just said, you know what, Emil, go out, develop, grow, flourish, and have a successful career.
Take
Maybe
him
it's
on
on a
loan.
that thing.
Take him on loan. It could cost us the league this year.
Oh, bro,
Come on.
listen. This isn't a flipping Hollywood fairy tale. I don't give a damn if I'm playing you 40 times in the season. When I need you to rise, you guys will give me the league.
It's
But
not a Christmas story. You know what I mean? Business.
it's not make with foundation. How much was Smith-Rowe on a week, Arsenal?
50. I'll be shocked.
Come on. Yeah, literally. Yeah. Hold that.
Man United used to say to Sir Alex Ferguson used to say to Ji-sung Park, I'm going to play you 3 games this season in the league, but these 3 games are going to be the clincher for the title. And the guy played out of his skin in those 3 games because he was fit and ready. Didn't
Fergie not promise him the Champions League? And then Fergie says that's the reason why they didn't win it.
No, in fairness to him, he said the reason they lost to Barcelona is that he didn't put Park on Messi. He put somebody else. He moved Park somewhere else, and he said, "If only I put Park on Messi, we win the Champions League final."
Oh, I think it was Darren Fletcher they didn't play actually. Yeah, it was Darren Fletcher. My bad.
Before we move on, Pete, why do you not have respect for Virgil van Dijk's name?
What's wrong? What did I say about? Whoa!
You did announce it. You didn't announce it properly, but
what do you mean?
That's what he's saying, bro. Everyone was laughing. Everyone was laughing in the group chat the way you said his name when he scored.
The Liverpool goal scorer number 4, Virgil van Dijk.
Nah, you sounded like somebody slapped you, bro.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I wasn't doing jumping jacks. I can tell you that much. Okay, do you hear the announcer when they score?
I said the Liverpool goal scorer. I was cracking up.
No,
Pierre,
it was hilarious. I don't think you understand how you sound. I don't.
What about the Salah one then? Because the Salah one was even worse. Because I was literally like the guy at Liverpool who does it. You know, like
yeah,
no. It's because we know you. Yeah, when you're gassed in it, yeah, I know you're in that control room. Live it.
Because it was right in front of me as well. Literally, my eye line. Yeah, I'm seeing Diaz flick. Van Dijk free header in the 6-yard box. Do me a favor. Do me a freaking favor. I was fuming. And obviously he was getting booed at the beginning of the game anyway. So when he scored and he come over to the corner flag, I was like, you swine, you absolute scum, you vermin. I was spitting blood in the control room. And then when I had to get myself back together again. But you know what's so funny? After the team sheets, normally when I announce the Arsenal 11, afterwards I'll say like, afterwards I'll say tonight's match officials, the referee is Mr. Anthony Taylor. The stadium lost the plot. They wanted to shoot him then.
Mate, these referees, mate.
But that's your fault. Why are you announcing the referee? I don't think anyone.
Listen, what if you're blind? You must know what's going on.
No one asked for that information, bro.
No one asked for the information.
Full information. I'm here to give you information. I'm here to give you all the information.
You're setting him up to get robbed on the street.
When's Arsenal's next home game?
In the men's team, it's going to be Nottingham Forest on the 23rd of November.
Okay, cool.
For a hot minute.
You're not playing for that long.
That's over a while. That's over a month, no?
Yeah, just under a month.
How are people supposed to get to the stadium?
Yeah, man.
But next month there's strikes, blood. It's all mad.
It's peak, bro. It's
how
peak.
You meant to get to the stadium?
But yeah, we got Newcastle away, Chelsea away next 2 games. So it's peak. It's peak settings. Right. Other scores very quickly in the league. Obviously, we just mentioned that Mr. Rodri has won the Ballon d'Or, so big up him. Let me just get through the other scores very quickly. Tottenham Hotspur.
Yes.
Cheer up, Postecoglou.
Oh, what could it mean to work for Aussie?
Football team. Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner and Mateta and the gang They are sailing away now. We've got things going. Guys, Tottenham were awful in this game. They were so bad. Did you see the goal? Did anyone see John Mateta's goal?
Nope.
Really,
Do yourselves a favor. If you want to see woeful, shambolic, horrific play and defending, have a butchers.
Bunch of cart horses.
Car horses, exactly that.
No, you see the Tottenham pressing though. No, but Slanky puts himself about now. But by the way, Peter,
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting into that territory where we need to have a just a review, just an appraisal. Like, how's he getting on?
What, the pensioner from Home and Away?
No. Dominic Solanke.
Oh, Dom's. Dom's.
Yeah.
Listen, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. That's all I can say.
Yeah. That's a delayed onset muscle soreness.
Muscle soreness. Like he's not doing bad for Spurs. He's not been bad because Spurs have got other problems. They've got other problems, and he's not one of them. Not by any stretch. Dominic Solanke's a good player. I actually liked what he did at Bournemouth last year. Very impressed. Let's see how he gets on this season.
Yeah, I agree. He's a unit.
Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 1. I don't know what it is about Aston Villa after European matches. They can't win to save their lives. Is it too much?
It's because of the high. They're top of the league.
They are high.
They are top of the league in the Champions League.
Which is outrageous scenes.
Yeah.
Outrageous scenes. How many games we played? 3?
Yeah.
Outrageous. By the way, I feel like the Champions League's far too spread out. Normally, I'm used to having like some sort of back-to-back action, but I feel like, Atalanta, our first game was Atalanta away. It feels like it was an ancient time ago. And the fact that the last game in the group stages isn't at the end of January feels ridiculous, in my opinion.
But then there's no break if you don't finish in the top 8.
Hey, it is. And you know what? We could win like in the 8 games. We could win like 5 and still be in the top 8. Like it looks ridiculous.
Hey lads, why am I just seeing something on the Telegraph? Yeah, but Ruud van Nistelrooy did blackface.
What year was this,
brother? I'm not opening this article to even find out. All I know, they got
as soon. You know, they've held that story in the chamber.
You know what I'm saying?
They've had that in the chamber when the time is right.
Bro, they said Man United interim manager
Wow.
Ruud deletes historic blacked out fancy dress picture. The guy,
your legend.
Bro,
going mad.
I mean, we could talk about legends.
We can.
We can go there.
Ours are fine. Ours are just drunkards.
And is the one I can talk about is Dutch.
No, he's
that
not a
one.
legend. He's not a legend, though. He's not a legend. He's not a legend. He's not our legend.
He's a legend.
He's not our legend. Oh no, he's not. What?
Okay.
A couple years. He's a
right.
legend.
All right.
A couple years, he's a legend.
Okay,
Nah.
Barca.
He's Ajax's legend. He's Ajax's legend.
I can even do one better. And I can. Oh, I'm talking about the guy from Feyenoord. I'm not even talking about the guy from Ajax.
He's your legend, bro. He's ours. She said no, Rob. Anyway.
I can also talk about what your fans sang at the Etihad to a certain African footballer.
Oh, that is.
I can also do that.
Vile.
What? Arsenal?
Yes.
Are you sure that weren't Tottenham?
Nah.
That was definitely
I mean,
Go on. Because I don't think it was
Calling mum's son.
To be fair, Togo and Angola, we wished it was you. Yeah, I understand that.
Whoa! You sung that?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Adrian, the racismo at N5 is crazy.
That's crazy, dog. What?
It should have been you. I think it was.
Like I have at the Emirates. It's exquisite. It's caviar.
Yeah.
The level of language.
Colorful.
They don't care.
Kaleidoscope things.
For the clarification for the fans, it was 5th of Jan 2013. Still on his Twitter.
Oh, so when he was at 2013,
He would have been retired by then, no?
Maybe at Hamburg. Maybe
Malaga, maybe.
That's Hamburg.
It's the what do you call it? The Sinterklaas thing that the Dutch do. Yeah.
What?
Anyway, here we go. All right, so Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth
look
1.
into it, Adrian.
Brentford 4, Ipswich Town 3. Classic game that was. Scenes of glorious emotion.
What do you think of Ipswich so far, people?
I think nothing of Ipswich so far, Robin.
Really?
They're going down. Don't know
about that.
Sorry?
I think they
How
might
many,
survive.
how many points do they have? 2.
Ipswich Town have
I think it's more than 2.
They've got 4 points.
It's not 2.
Bro. Get stepping, man.
Ipswich are gone. No, they'll be gone. They've got Delap. That's it. Delap will get a new job. We'll get a new gig elsewhere as well, by the way. Good finisher for sure. Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Great result for Wolves away on the road. Okay, then
They're going down.
No, they'll stay up. They've got way too much in the tank for them to go down. And by the way, Brighton in the top 6. Fair play to them, man. They're cooking this year. Big up Fabian Hertzler. Manchester City 1, Southampton 0. Southampton much better than I thought they would be. Much better.
It's a good thing I did not use my triple captain. But
yeah. Although they finally gave Haaland the ball, because one thing Man City I've noticed don't like doing, they don't like giving him the ball. He's forking out these goals himself. They don't want to give him the ball. I know him and Doku got some beef for sure. And mentioned earlier as well, Everton 1, Fulham 1. And of course, on the Friday night football, Leicester City 1, Nottingham Forest 3. Nottingham Forest are cooking. They're cooking, people. Watch out for them, man. Watch out for them.
Courtesy of
Nuno Espirito Santos. Who is the goal of the week?
Who actually scored one?
You scored a banger.
You know what?
Saka.
I think it's Bukayo Saka.
Big game, big moment, big team.
That was a finish, man.
Back from after being out for 3 games. What? Man said, where did I leave off?
Hey, speaking of big games and big moments and big players,
El Clásico.
Hey,
I tell you what.
Hey.
I tell you what.
I said, hey, listen, my man Killy, my ball.
No, don't destroy. Don't destroy.
Listen.
Do you know how many times he was offside?
Listen.
Do you know how many?
He had the ball in the net 3 times.
Even Ayo said it on Twitter today. He said, if you've watched PSG the last 3 years, you see this. And then he's right. He's right. When you watch the year that I gave up on Kylian was when Messi and Neymar were both like on a Benzema thing, like he's playing against us.
Hey, what? Like that World Cup final doesn't hold weight no more. Is it done?
No,
come on.
You remember, I was in the minority of people that said you didn't turn up for 70 minutes. For 70 minutes, France needed you. He woke up in the last 20. Like, yes, you scored a hat-trick, but I'm so sorry. For me, listen,
Sacre Walcott.
Sacre Bleu Walcott.
Whoa.
That's an egregious name.
Mirad, you know what? I'm going to remove one of the many yellow cards that I have. Now you're doing too much. We will now you're doing too much. They look yellow cards back. But anyway, like, Kylian Mbappe is, we're doing.
Wait, can I ask you? In all seriousness, I'm not claiming this on Mirad, but at what point does this get racist or not? Like, at what point?
We've always known Mirad isn't 100% since he called the pod in the car. Like
facts.
We knew what was going on.
Yeah. Did you hear how Mirad bucks Peter on the ends? Did you hear that?
We don't have time. I
was there on that pod.
Walcott is more. Let's be honest. Walcott is more of a Henry regen than Mbappe.
Don't read out the rest of that. Don't read the rest.
Okay, but
the point I was making is like,
big game.
I think Messi and Neymar really showed me that he's not of the level, man. He's not like he is. There's a lot of these younger players. Like I was saying to Peter in the shop, that the gap between Vinicius and Neymar is Edmonton to New Zealand. The gap of the quality of player we have now I think there is genuinely a few post 2018 that can touch the legends of old, because these guys are not cut from the same cloth.
They're not, bruv. They're not.
They're really not.
So,
I'm
anyway, what sort of man you thinking?
Say that again.
What sort of man you thinking that from this current gen that you think?
Like I'm talking about Haaland. I'm talking about Saka. I'm talking about Mbappe. Talking about like Vinicius. I'm talking about Jude Bellingham. The level of hype they get is far too early. Do you know how old Beckham was before he got his first Predators?
Yeah.
Like, Jude Bellingham has his black and gold pack already. Jude Bellingham line at Adidas. You ain't earned that. You have not earned that. Bruv, they were showing, the George Weah comps before he started to do the speech for the... I said, nah, this is how men were pulling in the 90s? You're taking the piss.
The thing is, why have footballers got, like the elite level? Why has the standards gone down as time's gone on? Why is that the case?
Everything's come too early, man.
I am willing to leave that as a separate pod. We have a full booklet of separate pods that we should have done.
Yeah, we're going to get into.
Honestly, there are so many topics we need to get into, and one of them is what has made the standards drop so low. Do you know what I mean? And Ruud Gullit said it while he was giving Lamine Yamal his Copper trophy, that he said there are too many footballers who lack expression, who are complete system players and fail to express themselves individually, and they're all robots. And he said, when I see this young man, this is the type of football I want to see. I said, you know what? That's why I text you lot in the group chat. Yamal is bringing back the feeling. Brother, some of the things I've seen this guy do at 17, he's nuts. He's nuts. He's nuts. Yeah. And the thing is, it's a big, big shame, because Mbappe at Monaco was doing these things. It's such a shame. It's such a shame.
He's been coached out of him, man.
It's so funny because
but David, when you give a player, that's why PSG, I pray for the salvation of the Lord Yeshua will be rained upon Paris Saint-Germain, because I do not understand how you give a player rights of recruitment and a seat at the board of directors. I do not understand.
And paid them 1 million a week.
This is insane.
Yeah,
David, you can talk about coaching all you want. The guy is too big for his boots. He's far too big for his boots. Respectfully, you're not George Weah, bro. You're not R9.
But on the contrast,
forget all of them, man. You're not Suarez.
On the contrast, Barcelona.
Facts, facts.
Barcelona turned up and said, "Yeah, no, we're not having another previous season."
Robin, how many teenagers did we see?
Wow. What did you say
How many
again?
teenagers did we see? But my manager, or former manager, should I say, is telling me year 3, it's a process. Get out of here, man.
Allow me.
Real jogging. Real.
Yeah, no, you know, Lamine Yamal is wow, what's a player.
And Robin, sorry to let's park Lamine Yamal to the side. Shout out to real number 9s.
I was waiting for this, guys. I was waiting for his name to be brought up in conversation.
Little one, goal ski.
Big Roberto.
Oh, there's something about it, man. It's just, listen, give me the ball. Do you know how many? Let me Google this. Do you know how many goals he's got for Barcelona,
brother?
No, I don't think people know. I don't think, and the thing is, he's just gone on like, this is like, I do this every week, and I've been doing this for the last, I don't know how many years. But if I was to let you know, in the league alone, right, this man for Barcelona, he's played 80 games in the league, and he's got 56 goals. For Bayern Munich. Munich, you heard me. For Bayern Munich, right? He played 253 games, league games. He got 238 goals.
Nah, he's taking.
Huh? The guy. How old is the guy? How old is he?
Yeah,
he's 36, guys.
Yeah.
He's 36. He's born in the 80s playing with these men.
He's moving crazy.
Yeah,
No, the
moving mad.
guy is
And yet, I
cold.
have a Frenchman who's got the number 9 shirt at Real Madrid. Who knew he was playing striker when he came?
Yeah, facts.
He was aware.
Yeah.
But left wing. I'm sorry.
Can I just say, look, so in Lewandowski's career at Barcelona, first season, 34 games, 23 La Liga goals. Okay. Second season, he got 35 games, he got 19 goals. But let me tell you something right now. He's played 11 La Liga games, he's got 14 La Liga goals.
That's crazy.
He's the man. What's the goal of the week, guys?
Saka.
Yeah, Bukayo Saka is the goal of the week for
But
sure.
shout out to Lamine Yamal goals, by the way, because
Yeah,
that was sick as
absolutely.
well.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's the player of the week?
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood.
Oh.
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood.
Did I read that he's got more goals than Man United?
Yes, he does.
He does.
Yes, he does.
Oh, Chrissy Wood. I'm glad you lot remembered him. That's fantastic. Chris Wood, indeed. Yes, fantastic. Player of the week. Team of the week?
Hey, Chris Wood is a Y, you know.
It's a huge Y.
Yeah, massive, gigantic.
That's crazy.
Team of the week.
Pause.
Oh, sorry, guys. You know what? I forgot Chelsea beating Newcastle United. I don't know why I missed that out.
Oscar must be pulling his hair out. What a howler!
Yeah.
It's a howler.
Hey,
And
Next time, don't go to Uganda, innit?
Oh.
To Robinho's comment about the refereeing and VAR, how Isak's goal stood is beyond me.
It's
He was
crazy.
offside. He was offside. There's no ifs or buts on this. He was offside. It's quite blank. Anyway, team of the week. I just thought about Chelsea this week. I thought they've done really well this week.
Who won? Did Wolves win?
Wolves drew 2-2 at Brighton.
And then the other team was
The
was
most
it Nottingham Forest that beat Leicester?
Forest beat Leicester 3-1 away, but I think the impressive one is probably West Ham beating United, even though it's not as it seems.
Oh.
When you think about it,
I don't think the win was impressive.
no, it wasn't at all. But like, if I look at the scores and I look at when I look at who played well, Palace battered Spurs. If I
Yeah.
look at who played well,
I think that's a resounding win.
yeah,
Because Tottenham usually hurt them.
Tottenham Hotspur, you'll always be.
And the thing is, they thought they were going to get away with it because Man United sacked the manager. Now we saw you, man. We saw.
Huh? Crocodile Dundee is looking for something.
Crocodile Dundee is egregious. I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy.
Cheer up, Boston Coglu. No, because you fraudulent behavior, all saying like, yeah, this is the man. We see how he's playing.
You're gonna run this narrative till you're on a Zimmer frame. Nobody said the guy is wavy. We just said that Tottenham were playing is wavy.
I said the things you are praising him for now. You will be the ones
I don't know a
attacking
single person
tomorrow
that was rating him about the high line. I don't know one person.
Not that it was a high line.
I said, dear God, that line is high.
It's the first thing I said. It's just the fact that it's because people couldn't wait to get rid of Conte ball. They couldn't wait to get rid of Conte ball. all because it was dire to watch. Listen, newsflash, guys. Italian managers are dire to watch. But what do? They give you results. Conte got Tottenham in the top 4. Have a think about that. In 20, by the way, after Jose Mourinho was the manager there. Because do you remember what that Tottenham was? Crystal Palace is your team of the week, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's not that guy this week?
There's a few.
Unfortunately, I have to give it to little Dirk, bro.
No, there's got up to David, you know.
What's he got up to?
He's an idiot.
Mate.
He's an idiot.
Classic committing crime and snitching on himself in the songs.
Yes. Moron.
But you know what, yeah.
And his boys snitched on him as well. So
but you know what? This generation of rappers is like this generation of footballers.
Murder, is it higher for murder or whatever it was? The crime they've charged him on. So yeah, something mad like that.
So yeah, Pete, he tried to escape the US. He books 2 flights. I think one of them was to Dubai and one over there. and then he cancelled those 2 flights, and then tried to go to Italy, and at that point, the
And then
FBI
got
caught
bagged.
on. He got bagged.
Oh my god. Oh, so dumb, man.
It's a stinker.
SW6 saying Dirk can never be not that guy. Is man mad? What's man talking about, bro?
Wow, you got bagged.
Soon come little Dirk gonna have that AD background.
Oh my days.
It says facing life impaired. Oh, let's not. I don't like laughing about that kind of stuff. That's peak, man.
What
It's freaking peak.
what else happened? Yeah, no.
Nah, stupid games, stupid prizes. That's all it is.
Stupid games, stupid prizes.
Yeah, I can't lie. The whole Madrid people not turning up because you didn't win is a bit.
Bro, there's a couple. Bro, Dallo missed the sitter.
Oh,
His bad.
no.
Dallas Sitter.
Pizza.
No, Dallas Sitter will be watched in 10 years.
That's like the
It'll
Torres
make-
one at Old Trafford, isn't it?
It'll make Premier League years.
Torres one at Old Trafford all over again.
Pizza. I'm in the control room. I'm
Where
supposed
did
to
he blast it?
Guys, I'm in the control room. I'm meant to be working, blood. I'm scanning. The screen's behind me. I've turned around. I see through and go. Fabianski was working against West Ham. He was not, mate. He was not safe.
Fabianski's performance was woeful, and David. The trauma of 2010 Arsenal was
Guys,
in the
Man,
brain.
held their head, bro, like a pastor praying for him.
Fabianski was awful. Dallo's gone past him, yeah. Me and my safety officer watching it on screen like this is a goal, but we smacked it over. We both screamed.
You know when you scream in a place of work.
No. Pete, was he on the bet? Was he on the bet?
No, those are the things that do get. There's a syndicate. There's a Malaysian betting syndicate that's made dollar. That's made freaking dollar. This week.
A syndicate.
I've heard that Interpol are not available for comment. Yeah, Interpol are not able to make comment. I wonder why.
That's how bad that miss was. But Adrian,
No, there was. Do you know what as well? But you know what else I thought as well though? Yeah, exactly. I think there was some sort of betting scandal that took place, because I think that's when they say the players are not playing for the manager anymore. This is actually what it means. It's where I'm going for. I mean, first of all, even Casemiro's goal. Do you know what was funny about that goal? There were 3 headers involved in this goal, yeah? And I thought that was hilarious. And Xerxes ran away like he scored the goal. And he could see fully well, boy, Casemiro held that one in. He helped that one get in, So, I don't know, man. It's just madness.
It's a farce, man.
It's a farce, mate. I tell you, it's a farce. Don't be fooled, guys. There are things that are happening in this Premier League season that we're going to come back to investigate. You're going to be like, you see, I knew it. Don't let these refereeing decisions slide. Don't let this Manchester United finishing performance slide. Don't let any of it slide. Okay, we will be revisiting it at some stage, at some point. You remember Paquetá, what he's been going down for in a game that was nothing. Was it Bournemouth away? Man's just picking up yellow cards, just cash.
Oh my God, to look at Paquetá.
Exactly.
But yeah, ultimately, the person that's not that guy is the guy that got let go today. First manager fired from the season of the Premier League.
Wow.
And he got on a private
Did anyone predict that?
I think after Swin did.
It was 3 of us. It was me, you, and David.
Did they?
Yeah. There's no way that he could still be.
Yeah.
No one to forget such a thing.
Like I said, if he makes Christmas, I'll be gobsmacked. And I literally said, it will be October or November, and Van Nistelrooy will be your manager. Literally.
But Peter, I don't get why they kept him. I genuinely don't. It was always going to end this way.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, but AD, you're talking to a guy who said, I don't know why he made the first season. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know why he made I don't know how he made, because he won the Carabao Cup, right? You can forget that. Just so funny, you can forget the Carabao Cup by the time it gets to May in that same season.
Yeah.
Only the win
since after we beat Newcastle.
Like literally.
Whoa.
It's the only people that remember who wins the Carabao Cup are the winners.
Facts.
I couldn't tell you who's won the last
100%.
3 Carabao Cup. I can't tell you that. What? I'm out of the quiz. I've lost. Who wants to be a millionaire? I am going back with nothing.
I got
Man
one
said he's
more.
exhausted 50-50, you know.
But Chris Tarrant says, listen, who won the last 3 Carabao Cups
Nah,
in a row now?
these Madrid players,
Well, he's bred, by the way, Chris
killing me.
Well,
Even
this
Carlo
man.
Ancelotti has just come up. He says, I want to thank my family, my president, my club, my players, and above all, Finney and Carvajal.
Oh, come on.
Guys, I got one more. I got one more. Yeah. Obviously, we know elections are going on in USA.
America's not a real country.
There was
It's
a
not.
comedian. There's a comedian called Tony Hinchcliffe. He's had a stinker, blood. He's put the Donald Trump campaign right in it, bro. He referred to the country of Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage.
I remember this. He said this.
Do you know what? Yeah, they live by like freedom of speech is a shoot in America. Okay, they live by this stuff. They just say whatever they like. Anyway.
And they said, and he's also added, these Latinos, they love making babies.
Nah, man. These guys it's a stinker. Hey. It's a stinker.
So Donald Trump, you're Republican. You're sort it out, mate. Now they're trying to backtrack, bro.
Guys, that wraps up this week's Top 4 podcast. Next week, you can look forward in terms of fixtures. Okay, it's saucy, people. It's saucy. We kick things off, okay, with Newcastle United at home to Arsenal. Saucy, 12:30 kickoff. 12:30 kickoff.
Are you heading to?
I'm not
Are you
making
heading
that
to James Park?
You're damn right. Damn right. Gosh. Okay, I need payback. Bournemouth at home to Manchester City. Ipswich Town at home to Leicester. Liverpool at home to Brighton. Forest at home to West Ham United. Southampton at home to Everton. And the 5:30 is Wolves at home to Crystal Palace. On Sunday, we've got, that's a boring game to have on TV, by the way. Jesus. Spurs Villa, Sunday, 2:00 kickoff, before we get to Old Trafford under the new regime at Manchester United against Chelsea. And Monday Night Football, we're going to be catered to Fulham at home to Brentford. Interesting scenes.
Seriously.
Thank you very much, everybody, for locking in this week. It's been a bumper one. Ten Hag is gone, and Rodri is your Ballon d'Or winner. Until next week, we will see you Monday at 8 o'clock.
Subscribe.
So make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well.
We just need 2 more subscriptions for 300.
2 more subs for 300. Get subbing. Yeah, get subbing. Until next week, people. We're out. Peace.
Not Subway.
Bye.
Subscribe.
Subway.